Okay, I can hear. I was gonna mess around with our audio before the stream started, and then I just completely forgot until like a minute ago when we had actually started. So fuck, I can't believe I forgot. Oh yeah, there was a big run. If you can see, I got 140. I had a fantastic run last week where it was glowflies, it was the grillers, I can't remember what they were, and then I think the third phase was the mothership, like the alien invasion one, and we got basically 50 per. 2 of the rounds we got 50, and the other one we got 40. And it was such a good run. I was kind of blown away by how good of a run it was. So that's my second ever gold decoration, because I got one in the final big run. But hey, I got one here, and that's actually really cool. Yeah, no, it was just a crazy lucky round. We all got good weapons. And yeah, it went so well. Because normally I'm just like, as long as I get bronze, I'm good. No. That one was just, oh, that one went perfectly. Alright, so this week, if it doesn't sound obvious, I'm sick. Just yesterday, I was feeling awful. Like, I sat down to stream yesterday at like, probably around right now. And I was just like, oh god, I can't do this. Oh, I feel terrible. So I went back to bed, and I probably slept like 12 hours. Because I did not work today. Oh my gosh. I feel awful. I still feel awful, but I at least can do it. My throat is just unbearably dry right now. Like, all my moisture. I'm wasting my moisture. Right. So it's all going into like mucus, and I just feel terrible. Where are you? Ah, shit. So yeah, it's, oh my god, I'm so out of it. But we got that. But you know, I am back. I'm gonna try to do a short stream tonight. You know, we'll talk. We got like 3 news stories because I want to talk about the Superman trailer. I have a few thoughts and ideas. I'm definitely echoing what other people have said, because there's no way I have an original thought in my head. But you know, I've got a few thoughts on the Superman trailer, so we'll talk about that. And guess what? Is the sun shining? There's Nintendo Switch 2 rumors. And actually, these past 2 weeks have had some really juicy Nintendo Switch 2 rumors. And so, yeah, this week is no exception, including someone who allegedly has the console. And is going to be revealing everything on Christmas Day. So that's the story. And we've got a follow-up on Sony acquiring Kadokawa, which was a story a few weeks ago. We've now got an update on that and where that's going. And then we got WIBE. I'm going to do a short WIBE. Legitimately, I'm going to talk about like one... There's an anime I meant to talk about last week that we didn't. I did not finish Gentry Chow. I know, that's my fault. I would say next week, but next week's Game of the Year, and that stream's going to be long enough as is. So probably not next week. Go watch it. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I'll give deeper thoughts on it in the future. Probably right after the new year. And then, but I have an anime that, again, I meant to talk about last week and I just forgot. So we'll talk about that real quick. Then we'll talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Because I have seen the 3rd Sonical Hedgeman movie. And then I think that's it. I think we'll do Marble League, which I would say is going to be short, but I'm pretty sure curling is like a fucking half-hour event. Curling is a long event. But we'll do everything else. And yeah. We might watch curling at double speed. Because I don't know if I can do a full... another hour of Marble League tonight. I mean, I probably could, and I probably will. But, oh my god. I've got a big glass of water here. It tastes like poison. But, you know, I'm sick. What else is it going to taste like? Also, this... should I get a... You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to get a straw. Fuck it. Microplastics. Because I'm trying to drink out of this cup. And it's just like... This ice is fighting me. Okay. Let's look at our... Yeah, that's good enough. Oh, shit. Shit, Switch 2 rumors. Okay. Let's talk about Switch 2, shall we? So, Switch 2 rumors, a lot of stuff. So, there's this user on the Reddit, on the Nintendo Switch 2 subreddit, named NextHandheld. And allegedly, this NextHandheld person does have a Switch 2 system. They have some, either the system, I don't think it's a dev kit, I think it's a system or like a prototype, or they have something for the Switch 2. They have not turned it on, right? Because they say that if they turned it on, Nintendo would know who they are. Like, there's a lot of, like, identifiable information on this, like, early system that if they were to show, like, screenshots or whatnot, Nintendo would be able to be like, yep, we know exactly who this is. Let's go, let's go send the ninjas after them and kill him. Old school Pinkerton style. So so this guy, right, he says he has it. Of course, the moderators on the Switch 2 subreddit. If you've never been on the Switch 2 subreddit, it's a bunch of it's a bunch of people who are either currently crazy or people who are going crazy. Like, that's the only way I can describe it, honestly. Like, currently they're obsessed with water buffaloes. Why? I couldn't even begin to tell you. It's a long story. Let's not worry about it. It's just, these people wanted the Switch 2 to happen, so they nip at the bud of every little rumor. And yeah, it's literally driven them crazy. It's an interesting place to be right now. So, yeah, I, as a fellow crazy person who does not give a shit about Water Buffalo, have been hanging out in the Switch 2 subreddit. And yeah, I remember seeing this post when it went up, and the moderator, responds and is like, no, right, unless you have actual verifiable proof that you can DM me, I refute, right, I will take out this post, I will ban your account. So, right, because they're sick, because people are doing this all the time. And then, lo and behold, the moderator, right, marks over his own comment and is like, holy shit, guys, they do actually have proof. I've seen things. This person is telling the truth, allegedly. And right, they say they're going to release everything on Christmas. So that's just a few days away, right? Presumably give them some time to, get rid of this identifiable information. Presumably, right, find a way to actually boot up the UI and everything. Whatever they're going to end up doing. Supposedly they're going to show it up on Christmas, which is, 4 days away? Because today, as we're streaming this, it is the 21st, the longest, darkest day of the year. So yeah, we'll see. Supposedly, the other news organizations have reached out to this NextHandheld person, and they do say they have also been able to collaborate. They've been able to verify that, yeah, no, this guy seems to be legit. That what they're saying seems to be the truth. So, yeah, we'll, of course, actually have to, wait and see. But so far, this kind of seems... everything seems to be lining up in this user NextHandheld's favor. That yes, this does so far seem to be true. Oh yeah, getting that straw was 100% the right move. So have we gotten any information about the Switch 2 from this user? There's been a few things. We've gotten a few bits and pieces of information. But the one interesting one, the one I want to talk about, is the Joy-Cons. So if you saw the leaked, rumored pictures of the Joy-Cons, where they had like two sensors at the bottom, they have these weird back buttons that, you know, that people have been claiming is like a disconnect. So that way, you know, you hit the disconnect, you know how like the Switch Joy-Cons have like a disconnect button, like, you know, you can kind of hear the click, and there's like a little small disconnect button. Supposedly these new ones have bigger disconnect buttons. But now, supposedly the rumor has changed, and those aren't actually disconnect buttons. The triggers on the new Joy-Cons seem to like wrap around. And so the idea, and there's a system called a Lenovo Go, which is like a Steam Deck, you know, it's something like that. And it also has like Joy-Con peripherals. But you can actually place the Joy-Cons, like you can like put them on like a trackpad thing, and they basically function like a computer mouse. Right? And because they have like these wraparound triggers that you can use, and supposedly they're good for like shooters and whatnot. So yeah, it's supposedly, I mean, I don't know if anything beats an actual mouse, but you know, it's an idea. And so supposedly, according to this NextHandheld guy, even though, again, according to the rumors, he has not turned on the system, he doesn't know what the UI looks like or anything like that. Supposedly, though, he knows that these are supposed to work like the Lenovo Go, where it can be like a mouse. Basically, right, you can place them on a table and use them like you would a computer mouse. It's an interesting idea. I mean, again, I'd be more skeptical if it wasn't for the fact that there's already hardware where this exists. And I mean, it's not out of Nintendo's purview to do something that other systems have, especially if it is a good idea. Again, I've kind of been on Nintendo to rip off the PlayStation 5's adaptive triggers. Supposedly, the new Switch, not the new Switch Pro controller, but supposedly Nintendo have filed a patent for adaptive joysticks. So in the same way that, right, the PlayStation has adaptive triggers, Nintendo could in the future have adaptive joysticks. Does this mean the Switch 2 is going to have adaptive joysticks? Of course not, but they could. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. There was some Pro Controller rumors along with this. Supposedly the Pro Controller is going to have back buttons. You know, I think of like the Xbox Elite controllers, and I know Sony has one as well that I can't remember the name of. I think it's like the DualSense Pro or whatever. I don't know. The Xbox Elite controller is actually a really good controller if you've never used. I've never owned one, but I've used one once. It's a really solid controller. But I like my current Switch controller, and I could see them adding like 2 back bumper buttons, but I want those buttons to be customizable. I think the current layout of buttons on controllers is kind of the maximum my brain can handle, right, when it comes to, hey, I need to know what buttons do what things. Like, I already struggle when I have to use all 4 trigger buttons in a game. I'd rather just switch between using the front triggers and the back triggers. If I have to use all 4 trigger buttons, that sucks. So, yeah, I want these to just be customizable buttons that you are free as the player to use. I think that's the proper way to do things. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. There were a few other rumors from this NextHandheld person. I'm trying to pull them up right now as we speak. I know they're talking about there's going to be 3 models for the new Switch. There's going to be a black model, or it's like black grayish. There's going to be a white model, you know, kind of like the Switch OLED. And then, there's going to be a, Mario Kart 9 model. Now, normally Nintendo and most... I honestly cannot think of a single other console manufacturer that launches with a special edition bundle, right? Like, Nintendo will usually wait at least a year. I know PlayStation waited at least a year. Xbox, as far as I know... Maybe, I guess that Galaxy one counts. I don't know. And I know they've made like a few, like the Bluey model, the Starfield model, the one I have, the Starfield model, which is the one I have. So they've done a few Xbox ones. Yeah, I was gonna say, because Nintendo Special Edition Switches didn't come around for a while. Is there just a... I'm trying to find what other rumors he said. Still no OLED screen, you know. Nothing like that. There's the Pro Controller rumors. There's a C button rumor. Supposedly there's been a bunch of rumors for the C button. Again, user NextHandheld hasn't turned on the system, supposedly, so they don't know what the C button does. But I've seen some people say that it's going to be like a... Basically, they're bringing back Miiverse, and that the C button's going to have something to do with that, or there's going to be like a video thing. I don't entirely know what the rumors are. Let's just see. Okay, I'm trying to find it here. Did I save that anywhere? I don't know. I swear I saved all, like, the different rumors somewheres. I can't find it. I can't... I know there was other stuff. Price point, we're looking somewhere between $400 and $500 bucks. But yeah, it looks like we're not getting an OLED model. We kind of already knew some of this stuff. Supposedly, yeah, it's probably going to launch with the next Mario Kart game. That makes Again, I talked about this last week. I don't actually care about some of these Switch leaks. Like, yeah, there's some interesting things in here, I guess. But what I care about more is the hardware. I want to know what... Or the software, I mean. I want to know, like, what games can you play on the Switch 2? Right? What software does it have? What game am I going to be excited to pick up on launch date? That's what I care about. And so far, none of that has been leaked. Of course, there's still plenty of time for that stuff to be leaked. Supposedly, another thing that I do remember from these rumors is, according to this NextHandheld guy, because of all of these leaks that have been happening these past few months, this past month, specifically with all, like, oh, this is a case for the Switch 2. Specifically because of, like, the case stuff. Supposedly, Nintendo has actually pushed up their reveal date. Originally, they were going to do it in late January, maybe even early February, but supposedly they've now decided to do it January 11th. So, again, that could always change. That could always... These rumors could still be true, and that could be Nintendo's date today that they then decide to change at a later date. And literally anything is possible. But January 11th, I think that's a... Is that a Thursday? Oh, that's a Saturday. Okay, maybe never mind. I can't see... I mean, the only reason Nintendo would reveal a console on a Saturday is to get, like, oh, that way, you know, everyone has a chance to watch the reveal. Whereas if you do it on, like, a Friday, you know, somebody's gonna miss something. Or on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't see a Saturday. But I don't hate... I want it to be early. Especially because the longer they wait, the more stuff leaks. NextHandheld did back up the rumors that supposedly the system is well into production and that we're looking at a very early release date. Theoretically as early as March. Because this has been a rumor for a while now that supposedly we're going to get a March release date. I've been... What the heck killed me there? Oh, snipe. Okay, that makes sense. I've been very skeptical on the March release date, but if they already have like 1 million consoles made, 1 million's probably an underestimate. If they've already made a bunch of these, then yeah, sure, they could do a March release date. I'm still very skeptical of that date, but it's possible. Alright, let me take one last pass through, see if I can find anything. If I can't, then we will just move on to our next story. Ugh. Oh, supposedly the new dock? So there's this, supposedly it's a smaller dock. So you know how like the Switch's dock covers like 95% of the Switch's screen? Supposedly this new one only covers like 50%, which leaves 50% of the screen exposed. And so people have made like these mock-ups like, hey, what if it displays like the battery life in the time? What if it has an alarmo built into the Switch 2? And it's like, there's some fun ideas and some cool concepts out there. I don't know if Nintendo would actually do anything like that. Again, I know I was the one I agree with Arlo that I think an open-faced dock is a good idea. And this is kind of like a half step. So I don't hate it. It's just like with Nintendo, because Nintendo has put no themes on the Switch 2. I know some people really hate that fact. Personally, I've never actually really minded the fact that the Switch has no themes. But, you know, there's a lot of hope that, hey, maybe with the Switch 2, we'll actually get some themes, we'll get some music, especially now that hopefully we get Nintendo Music integration. That'd be cool. But yeah. No, I don't hate that I have like a half dock that displays the time and whatnot. My Switch is currently tucked away in a corner. It's tucked away in a corner behind my PS4 or PS5 and the Xbox. So like I currently don't have a place to display it. But yeah, that's the idea. I don't know. We're gonna, by Christmas, supposedly we're gonna know whether or not this guy's telling the truth or not. We'll see. Like, honestly, if this guy gets fucking murdered by Nintendo ninjas between now and then, I would in no way be surprised. But yeah, supposedly several people have verified. Oh shit, I missed that what this person's saying is true. What was the word I was looking for? Corroborated? I think that's the right word. God, I'm so out of it. Corroborated. I think that's right. I don't know, we're gonna keep getting Switch rumors, but the second we see, like, gameplay of Mario Kart 9, that's where I'm, like, pissed. Like, honestly, there's a part of me that, like I said, I think I said this last week, I'm not really bothered by Switch 2 leaks, because the Switch 2 is such a minor change from the current Switch, right? Like, the original Switch itself, going from the Wii U to the Switch, I don't really remember that leaking. It probably did, I just didn't see any of the leaks. So actually seeing the Switch for the first time was such a big deal, right? But going to Switch 2, which looks the exact same, you know, the fact that it's leaking doesn't really bother me as much, because it is such a minor change. Oh, and the last thing I will say on this, the name the Switch 2. This user NextHandheld basically came out and confirmed that yes, the thing is called Switch 2, that the logo is basically just the current Switch logo, but they moved over the two Joy-Cons and just have a giant 2 next to it. Or something along those lines, but it's not that big of a change. And honestly, I'm fine with that. I've seen some people say like, oh, this is the Wii U all over again. People are just gonna find this confusing. No, they aren't. You're a fucking liar if you think that. Because you know what? People buy a new iPhone every year, and the only change is the number. Especially on iPhones, when literally they only change the number. The difference between the iPhone 23 and the iPhone 24 is a fucking number, and that's it. And you all know it, but you're too bought into Apple's branding. So no, I think Switch 2 is a perfectly fine name. Again, PlayStation's been doing it for 5 generations now, and not at any point has anybody complained. I mean, of course people have complained, but you know, not complaints that actually matter. Let's see, anything else? Hall effect sticks, curved docks, bigger buttons, game carts are the same. Okay, that's more or less what I expected. So our next story, so a few weeks ago we talked about how Sony was in talks to acquire Kadokawa. If you do not know, Kadokawa is a Japanese company. I mostly know them from anime. They've worked on a bunch of anime that I really like over the years. Could I name any of those anime off the top of my head? Maybe Konosuba? I think they did Konosuba, that sounds right. Even though I don't actually love Konosuba, I think it's fine. I haven't seen it in years. I don't think I ever, because when I saw it, it was when the first season aired. And I don't think I ever saw any of the follow-up seasons or anything. But yeah, so there was a rumor that, right, Sony was gonna acquire them. And now, of course, everyone took it as like, oh, Sony only wants to acquire Kadokawa because of From Software. Because From Software is owned a majority stake by Kadokawa. Of course, you know, they own other studios as well. They own the studio that just did the Mario and Luigi Brothers ship. They own a few other things. When, like, it was kind of like, you know, when Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard King, really, like, yeah, they were buying Activision and Blizzard, but you really wanted is King. King is where all the money's at. And that's kind of what I feel about this Kadokawa thing. Like, yeah, you can buy them From Software, but the anime is where the money's at. Because I want to say they own Funimation, or I don't think, maybe Crunchyroll. They own one of those. I know Sony already owns one of them. I want to say Sony owns Crunchyroll. That sounds right. That might be completely wrong, but that sounds right. But yeah, I want to say Kadokawa owns like one of these other big animation studios, or like anime like streaming services or dubs or something like that. So that was the rumor. And yeah, I honestly could realistically see that. Of course, eventually, right at the time, Sony said no comment. A few weeks later, they did update saying that yes, they are planning on acquiring Kadokawa, or they're looking into it. And now we have the update that basically Sony and Kadokawa have formed a strategic capital business alliance. What does this mean? Basically, Sony has spent around 500 billion, or not 500, 50 billion yen. What does that translate to in American dollars? I have no idea. A yen is basically a penny, so you can do the math from there. But yeah, basically, it's okay, it's a little more than a penny, if I remember correctly. But it's still basically a penny. Ooh. Yeah, basically, Sony, by spending 50 billion yen, they have acquired 10% of stock of Kadokawa. Now, this includes the stock of the company that they already owned, so I think this brings their total up to 10%. So this isn't like a complete buyout. Honestly, I think of like when Disney bought a bunch of stock of Hulu. Like, I want to say Disney nowadays, I want to say they completely owned Hulu, but for a long time they owned like 30% of the company. So this isn't that big of a share, but it still is a pretty big share, right? 10% is still a lot. And again, I think it's 10% total. I don't think this is, whatever they already owned plus another 10%. I'm pretty sure this is just 10% total. Which, again, that's still a lot. So this will, of course, all add up. But yeah, it brings, of course, this does not mean that Sony's going to stop trying to acquire Kadokawa. I think I still think that's probably their primary end goal. And over the next months and years, we're going to see Sony take more and more of Kadokawa's stock with the goal of ultimately acquiring them. Because it just, right, that's what Sony wants. And while, you know, our other company's going to try to come in to, like, save them, to stop the merger, we'll see. So for the Salmon Run, they brought back the New Year's glasses, but they brought back the Splatoon 2 New Year's glasses that were the 2019 ones. They didn't even do the courtesy of updating them to 2025 New Year's glasses. No, they just brought back the 2019 ones. That's dumb. They should have updated them. They should just give out a new pair of New Year's glasses every year. But whatever. So yeah, that's that story. And our next story, I do want to talk about the Superman trailer real quick. So we got the new trailer for James Gunn's Superman. I am a big Superman fan. Of course I'm excited. Of course I hate Zack Snyder's Superman movies. Because they're not Superman. Like that, honestly, I have the same problems that I have with Zack Snyder's Superman that I have with, like, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Like, yeah, you know what? They're okay films, but they're bad Superman films. Right? Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is an okay game, but it's a bad Banjo-Kazooie game. And, of course, you've had Snyder Bros coming out of the woodworks, and, you know, they're just a bunch of fucking incels that, you know, hate color in their movie, because, you know, this trailer leans heavily into, like, yellows. Like, yellows are a very prominent color, and God, how we've missed movies with color in them. Like, we're so used to all the grays of Marvel movies, you know, where you make every movie just super gray, so that way you can go in and cover the thing in CGI, and people won't really notice because the movie's so gray, even though we always notice. Even me, who's not good at noticing CGI, we still do notice. Just, you know, it's complicated. But no, this movie looks good. It looks colorful. There are some things I am worried. I'm not 100% aboard the hype train. I do have my concerns. It's weird that it starts right. You're gonna start off the Superman trailer with Superman getting his ass kicked. The reason they probably did that is because, you know, people always complain that, oh, Superman's so overpowered. Oh, you know, he could just sneeze and defeat any of his villains. Like, for anyone who reads Superman, you know that's not true. But, so I'm guessing that's maybe why this starts off with that, is because they want to, like, curve that, like, idea that, like, oh, Superman's super OP, let's see him get his ass kicked. I love seeing Crypto. If you don't think this movie should have Crypto, fuck you. You just hate fun. It's like, I'm so... that was dumb. I'm so sick of people who are like, oh, I want a new Batman movie, but I don't want to see Robin. Robin is an essential to the character. If you don't have Batman without if you have a Batman without Robin, do you even have Batman? Like, real talk, do you? Because I would argue that you probably don't. You know, you just have the Punisher in a silly outfit. And I mean, it's the Punisher. He's already got a pretty silly outfit. So yeah, I don't get... People are, of course, already hating. I think it all looks good. The second thing that concerns me is all these side heroes. Like, I just kind of want to see Superman stand on his own. I don't need to see Guy Gardner. I don't need to see Mr. Terrific. I don't need Hawk Girl. I don't need Metamorpho. I feel like there are so many characters in this movie. are we going to have enough... is this movie 3 hours? Because we better have enough Superman in here. I don't need Mr. Terrific. I don't need Hawkgirl. I just need a good, solid Superman and a good, solid Lex Luthor. Supposedly, there's, like, 4 villains in this. You know, Lex Luthor, like, someone called, like, not the Enchanter, but, like, the not the... It might be the Tinkerer. It's probably not the Tinkerer. So it starts with an E. There's Ultraman, and then there's, like, one other. Supposedly, Maxwell Lord's in this. Simon Stagg is in this. So many fucking characters. Just give me Superman. Give me Superman, give me Lex Luthor, and maybe you can throw in, like, one other character. Like, if Ultraman is just a version of Superman, like, cloned from Clark's DNA to be, like, the better Superman, who then, you know, ends up, like, turning evil and maybe becomes Bizarro or something, that'd be fine. I'd be fine with that. But, right, I don't want them to do all of this stuff. Just give me a solid, standalone Superman, then do everything. But that's not what we're getting here. So that does have me worried. Of course, what we see of these other guys, I mean, we'll see... I mean, we got Guy Gardner, who looks bad, but I think that's intentional. Like, Guy Gardner's an asshole who's supposed to look bad. So, at least I'm going to, you know, that may be copium. I don't know, I'm not a big Guy Gardner fan. I've always been a John. I like Jon Stewart, and I like, Jessica Cruz. Those are the Green Lanterns I like. I don't like Guy Gardner, I don't like Hal Jordan. The one... Simon... I don't really care for Simon Baz, but I haven't really read any Simon Baz stuff. I don't mind the other one. Sojourner... Is it Sojourner Mulholland? It's something like that. I've read some of that story. Farspace, I think it's called. It's okay. It's got some interesting ideas. I think it's M.K. Jemison's the writer. That sounds right off the top of my head. That one I like experience with. So yeah, we'll see, but there's a lot going on here, so I am kind of worried what we're gonna do, where we're going, because you can totally do too much. It is very easy to do too much. But, you know, it's James Gunn. I trust James Gunn. I've loved all 3 of the Guardians films. You know, I trust James Gunn to do it right. And so far, what we are seeing of Superman looks like good Superman. We're not getting an origin story, you know. We're starting in medias res. You know, Superman already exists. Lex Luthor already exists and hates Superman. I did find that it's called Luthor Corp and not Lex Corp. But I think that's just years of me getting used to it. I do like them referencing the second Superman comic with that country. The moment in the trailer where the kid raises the flag, you know, everyone's freaking out about that moment, and rightfully so. The one I love is where he saves the girl from, like, the giant monster, and it's, like, hitting all these, like, canisters in the way. That's great. Like, that's a moment where I see that, and I'm like, that's Superman. You know, where he's saving the cat from the tree. That's Superman. While Lex Luthor is shoving them in. If I had to go... I was listening to Greg Miller talk about the trailer, and his idea for the plot is that basically Lex Luthor goes in, he invades the Fortress of Solitude, which has all, like, the weird aliens in it, and he basically frees them, and they run amok inside the city. And that Superman's being blamed for that, and so now he's got to stop them. That's where all the heroes come from. I think that's a pretty obvious place to take the plot. Like, I hope there's that weird purple and green alien who I've seen, right, some people postulate, is it Brainiac? Because purple and green are basically Brainiac's colors. I don't think it's Brainiac, though. If I had to guess, I would say that maybe it's, the Sun Eater. I know it doesn't look like the Sun Eater, but we know this comic is taking influence from All-Star Superman, And having read All-Star Superman earlier this year, I think it's either the Sun Eater or the Rogue Sun that gets eaten by the Sun Eater at the end of that comic. I can't remember what it's called. It's not the Rogue Sun, but it's something like that. I really don't want this movie to be All-Star Superman. Like, I liked All-Star Superman, but I didn't love it, and I don't know how well it's gonna work. That would work as a movie, outside of like being like a hey, this is an animated adaptation of All-Star Superman. Again, if you're launching a universe, that's not the story I'd want. Especially because, it ends with Superman dying, kind of. I don't know, go read All-Star Superman. It's complicated, like, he technically is dying, but he doesn't. Because, complications. But no, everything from this, like, 2.5-minute trailer, it looks good. It's more or less, what I'd want. I have my worries, but when all is said and done, when push comes to shove, I'm sure everything's going to work out. In James Gunn we trust, or whatever. I like the costume. It looks like the logo's a little different than what I pictured it like, but it has the shorts. I'm a #1 Superman has to have shorts believer, that it's essential for the costume. It has... I'm worried about what they're going to do with My Adventures with Superman, because the new costume didn't have the shorts. But, technically the original didn't either, so they can fix it. It's just a matter of time. So that's that. Yeah, Superman, man. I'm excited. It's July. That's still like 6 months away. 7 months away. But, I'll be there. So what have I been whipping? I guess let's talk about foodstuffs first. I got 2 foodstuffs. Let's start with the better one. So Taco Bell is doing chicken nuggets. This is something they teased earlier in the year, and I had no idea that they were just going to like drop on a random like Thursday in December. But sure enough, they did drop. They came with 3 new sauces. There's a Bell sauce, which is like Taco Bell's take on like... I guess I would say it's like Taco Bell's take on like Raising Cane sauce. That's obviously not a perfect comparison, but I think that's the most logical one. You have a spicy sweet honey, not spicy sweet honey, like a spicy honey mustard sauce. And then finally you have a Hidden Valley Ranch, but it's got their fire hot sauce mixed into it. So I ordered a 20-piece, actually. I ordered a 20-piece. I ordered all 3 sauces. They only gave me the jalapeno ranch, or the jalapeno honey mustard, and the Bell sauce. I did not get to try the ranch. I have no idea what the ranch tastes like. Maybe in the future, because spoiler alert, I did like these. They were actually... I mean, outside of them being filled with protein... Like, seriously, they're like 76 grams of protein. Fucking bananas. Yeah, they've got that. So I didn't try that one. I did try the Bell sauce. The Bell sauce is good. Honestly, of the 2 I did try, I would recommend the Bell sauce. I would not recommend the spicy honey mustard, or the jalapeno honey mustard, or whatever the fuck it was. That one I did not care for, but, that was good. The other one, the Bell sauce, was good. I did like it. I liked it a lot more than, KFC did a comeback sauce earlier this year, which is supposed to be, like, their new signature sauce. I did not care for that at all. No, this Bell sauce is a lot better. And yeah, the actual nuggets, they're good. They've got a little bit of heat to them, but not even like jalapeno amounts. It's just very small. They've got bits of tortilla chip like mixed into the batter. The nuggets are actually bigger than I thought they would be. The guy may have screwed me over on the sauce, but he actually in my 10-pack he actually gave me 12. So good on that guy. But yeah, they're all around decent nugs. Like, do I like them better than, like, KFC nugs? Yeah. Would I get them over KFC nugs? Definitely. Would I get... Do I like them more than Raising Cane's, like, tenders? Kind of. I don't know. It's Taco Bell, so it's what you'd expect from Taco Bell. But as what I'd expect from Taco Bell, it's kind of better than I'd expect. Like, you know, Taco Bell always likes to try out weird stuff, and some of that weird stuff is good. And yeah, I think this, as like weird Taco Bell stuff goes, is one of the better things. I would genuinely recommend this. So yeah, right, a good 10-pack, again, 76 grams of protein for, God, maybe $10. You know, that wasn't bad at all. I got a good, you can get a Diet Baja Blast as well, or a Baja Blast Zero. You know, really get those macros in. I could see it. I could totally see it. So yeah, they're not bad at all. Honestly, there are far worse places that I've had. Like, God, this is like for, you know, McDonald's, a place that normally does chicken. This knocks their chicken Big Mac out of the water. Because that chicken Big Mac was so underwhelming. Whereas, no, this is actually, like, really good. So, yeah, I'd recommend it. The second thing I tried was I went to Burger King. I had their churro fries again. I'll talk about those in a second. Last time I really liked their churro fries. This time we'll talk about it. And then I tried their Whopper melts. They have, like, these new Whopper patty melts. I had a normal one, and I had a bacon one. I didn't try the mushroom one. After Sonic, I don't really want any more mushrooms. That Sonic mushroom burger was so underwhelming that I was like, you know what, I think I'm good. I don't need any more mushrooms. So thoughts on the mushroom, or thoughts on the actual, I tried a bacon and I tried an original. Between the two, I would recommend the bacon one, because I really felt like the non-bacon one was okay, but the bacon gives it a little kick that I feel like it needs. It kind of needs, like, the saltiness of the bacon. It's got, like, a patty melt sauce on it, and the patty melt sauce is okay. It's nothing like Whataburger's, like, patty melt sauce. It's a lot sweeter than that, but it's fine. You know, I think it was okay. It was okay. I definitely would recommend the bacon one first. Right, that bacon adds just a little... I can't remember if there's anything on the bacon one other than bacon, but I think the bacon is pretty essential. So yeah, I would highly recommend getting the bacon in the bacon one. And then I got the churro fries. So they also brought back their spicy their spicy chicken fries. I did not try the spicy chicken fries, but I kind of didn't need to, because it's clear that the oil that they use for the spicy chicken fries is obviously the same oil they use in the churros, because I do not remember the churros being kind of spicy the last time I had them. These were kind of spicy. They weren't like burning my tongue off or anything like that, but they had just like a little hint of spice in it that I'm like, I think it comes from the spicy oil, or the oil they use in the spicy fries. That's my only assumption. But you know, they're churro fries. They're very basic. They come with like a chocolate sauce. That's kind of underwhelming, but it's okay. I kind of like the churro. I like the churro fries. I liked them less the second time. When I had them last time for like the Gomez Adam promotion, the Addams Family promotion, I liked them a lot more. So maybe I just got them on a bad night. You know, Burger King is supposedly good only 1 out of every 10 times. And I feel like back in October was that 1 in 10. So now I just gotta roll Snake Eyes again. And clearly I'm not that lucky. But no, it was okay. It was okay. I've definitely had worse Burger King. Would I recommend the Burger King over the Taco Bell? No, not at all. The Taco Bell nuggets were way better than I expected them to be. Way better than they have any right to be, honestly. Go get Taco Bell chicken nuggets. Trust me, you need those. Get those gains. Get those chicken nuggets. I don't know why I keep harping on the gains thing. I just think it's funny. Huh, interesting. Alright, what else did I... So, I talked about an anime. Real quick, the one anime I did watch. So, I don't remember how this got recommended to me. God, probably Broken over on TikTok. If I had to guess, but it's called Hokkaido Girls Are Super Adorable. This is a rom-com, but, you know, it's an anime harem rom-com, where it's this guy, and he's got multiple girls who are interested in him, but of course he's not going to choose any of the girls, and all the girls are different kinds of gals, and basically the plot is, this guy moves out with his grandma. Out in Hokkaido, right, he's from Tokyo, but he had a fight with his parents, which we still don't know all the details about, but he's now living with his grandma in Tokyo, so he's going to the local school, and he meets a gal. Can I remember the gal's name? No. There are 3 gals. There's the blonde gal, the gamer gal, and the traditional Japanese gal. And, you know, he has romantic moments with all 3 of them. Of course, the end goal is the traditional Japanese blonde gal. Now, the end goal is the blonde gal. Like, that's very obviously where they're going, you know. They spend a lot of time together. The anime calls itself super adorable. And yeah, I'd have to agree. I do think the gal is very adorable. Of course, she's always got her boobs out and she's a high schooler, so yeah. But, you know, other than that, their romance is very cute. I wish they would just come out and say they have feelings for each other. Spoiler alert for the end, but at the end, she, like, leaves the country and to go to because she has dreams of doing, I want to say makeup. Like, she wants to study makeup. So she's going to America to study makeup. And, of course, they build it up as, like, oh, she's moving away and he'll never see her again. No, she's only gone for, like, 2 weeks. It does not end with fireworks, right? This ain't, Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. We don't end with fireworks, which I was thankful for. But, you know, every other stupid Japanese romance trope is here. I think they are super cute, though. I like the main gal, and I like the gamer gal, who is, right, she's this loner, who the main character builds a bond with. He literally buys a Nintendo Switch just to play, like, Smash Bros. With her, because she's, you know, she's a gamer. And she worries that everyone's going to find her weird because of that. But they were, you know, it was cute, it was fun. So the one thing that was driving me crazy about the show is I'm watching the first episode, and right, he's just got, you know, I was watching the dub. I want to be very clear here, I was watching the dub. I'm assuming in the Japanese original release, I'm assuming they have Hokkaido accents. Right, that he's got a typical Tokyo accent, and they've all got Hokkaido accents. But in the American version, you can't really do that. So, in the American version, right, he's got, you know, standard California accent, you know, what I would consider American. And the blonde gal, it was driving me crazy, because it's clearly not standard American accent. My first thought was maybe it's like Midwestern. No, it can't be Midwestern. Maybe it's like Minnesota or Wisconsin. That sounded more correct. And then in the second episode, you meet her mom. And I'm like, oh shit, they're Canadian. Yeah. With, you know, like the main character doesn't have an accent, the gamer gal doesn't have an accent. But most of the kids at their school, the blonde gal, her family, they all have Canadian accents. They say a boot, right? They're Canadian. And it was the first episode was driving me crazy. But yeah, the second you meet the mother, I'm like, oh shit, they're all Canadian. You could make an argument that, you know, Minnesota and Wisconsin, the accent's a little similar, so I could see that argument being made. But no, they're Canadian. It's 100% Canadian accents. And as a choice you make when dubbing a show, right? Having the guy from Tokyo have an American accent and all, like, the country people have Canadian accents is, in my opinion, a very inspired choice. I think it works really well. And yeah, I think it helps play for her, like, being more adorable. Because, you know, she is more, like, rural. I definitely think giving them all Canadian accents is more inspired than giving them Southern accents. Right? Like, giving them that, like, country twang. I think that, like, that's a bad idea. Having them say a boot is better than having them say y'all. So yeah, I liked it. I think it was a cute show. The dub was perfectly fine. You know, it's got the typical fan service that a lot of romance animes have. But, you know, it was adorable. I put it up there with, like, Shikimori is more than just a cutie, or, you know, other romance animes like that. I cannot think of a third example. But yeah, it was perfectly fine. It was fun. It was cute. I definitely liked it. Like, a bad anime like this is My Girlfriend is a Gal, which is fucking awful. There is no pedophile in this show, unlike that one. You know, this, between the two animes with gal in the title, this one is so much better than the other one. Because the other one just kind of sucks. So yeah, Hokkaido gals are super adorable. I don't know, it just kind of, like I said, it popped up on my radar. It's probably, a lot of stuff like this pops up because of Broken Daydream. He's like my number one, like, yeah, you know, he's responsible for all this. But I enjoyed it. I mean, it's either this or just another fucking isekai. Which I did start an isekai like a week or two ago. Because I finished the show last week. And I just forgot to put it on the docket last week. I started an isekai called, like, Spirit Challenge or Spirit Summoning or something like that. Super fucking generic. Oh my gosh. You know, it's fucking the Beverly Hills Housewives of isekai. So generic. I don't even... is it boring? I mean, kind of. I don't know. I've been kind of struggling. I haven't finished it, obviously. And it's been like 2 weeks. But I'll work on it. You know, I got a lot of things to watch. Like I said, I gotta finish Gentry Chow, but it's good. I'd recommend it. Go watch it on Netflix. You know, hopefully it gets renewed for a second season. If more people watch it, it will be renewed. But it's Netflix, so they might also cancel it for no reason whatsoever. Because that's the kind of shit Netflix does. Oh, gosh. What have I watched it outside of, you know, Sonic? Have I watched anything else? No, not that I can think of. I've been watching the third season of Crime Scene Kitchen. It's been okay. I think I'm on the final episode. It's been okay. I still probably think the best season was the first season. Probably. But I mean, I'm rooting for the two bakers where they make the comic book cake, and their comic book cake looked amazing. Like, Yolanda called it the best cake in the show's history, and I was like, yeah, no, I see that. It's a great looking cake. So yeah, I'm, you know, I'll get to the end of the season. Crime Scene Kitchen is still, you know, it's fun. Is it good? Is it fun? Yes. But I've been working on that I mean, I started it when the season started, and I was like keeping up with it weekly, and then I fell behind. We got with the season finale of Gastronauts, and I have not watched it. I need to watch it, and I just haven't. Oh, God. Before I get marbles, I gotta go get some water. Because I'm all out. Okay. So let us talk about Sonic Hedgehog 3. The Shadowing. So, real quick history on Sonic the Hedgehog. The first movie, I think I gave like a 6 out of 10 to. It was fine. It was nothing amazing. It was literally just another John Marsden animated character road trip movie. If I had a nickel for every John Marsden animated character road trip movie, I'd have like 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened like 2 or 3 times. I think it's happened 3. I know it's at least happened twice, Sonic and Hop, but I swear to God there's a third one. So, yeah, the first Sonic movie, 6 out of 10, it was whatever. You know, they fixed the Sonic design, but that didn't actually, like, fix all the problems with the movie. You know, Jim Carrey's a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of Jim Carrey's style of comedy. And, you know, he put his old Jim Cussy into it, and it puts out a pretty decent movie. The second Sonic movie bumps it all up. You know, clearly the people who created the Sonic movie were fans of the games, and it shows a lot more in the second one. They add a lot more callbacks to the games. The movie seems more reliant on the games, you know? We're getting the Master Emerald, we get Super Sonic, we get Tails and Knuckles. There's clearly this level of love put into the second one. Is it perfect? Gods no. It's still a Sonic movie. We still spend a lot of time with the human characters. That was a great Duke out. Right, it's got problems, but it's better. It's better in a lot of different ways. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. You know, it fixes some, but not all of the problems. I enjoy the second Sonic. I'll watch the second Sonic movie over the first one any day of the week. I actually rewatched all 3 of these movies, by the way. That's part of the reason why I didn't finish Gentry Chow, was because I rewatched all 3 Sonic movies. So that's the second one. I feel like it's a lot better. You know, it's got a lot of good stuff from the games. You know, seeing the tornado, seeing the death egg, seeing the giant Eggman robot. That, again, is very video game, but I love the fact that, you know, they're just going to lean into the video games. And they're going to have fun with it. Idris Elba does a fantastic job as Knuckles. So yeah, I like the second Sonic movie a lot. The Sonic and the Knuckles TV show is whatever. It's got its moments. I think the first 4 episodes are good. The first 3 are kind of whatever. I love the Shabbat dinner in the 3rd episode. I think that's a lot of fun. You know, making Knuckles Jewish, I think, was a good idea. And then the 4th episode has the rock opera, which I know critics hated, but as a viewer, I loved it. I love the rock opera in the 4th episode. But then the show kind of falls apart for the last 2. I don't care about the villains at all. You know, it's got problems. The fists of destruction, the flames of disaster. That's the line. The flames of disaster. Right? It's got its dumb lines and its moments. But overall, I think it's okay. Probably, again, another like 6 or 7 out of 10. The 3rd Sonic movie was my most anticipated movie of the year. And I will say, it stands and delivers. Is it a perfect movie? No. Not at all. Would I probably only give it an 8 out of 10? Yeah, probably. But it's wild that, because most series, right, usually how series works is the original movie is great. The second movie is even better. And then the third one isn't as good. Right? Most trilogies work that way. Right? Toy Story. The first movie is great. The second movie is amazing. And then the third one, well, still good, great even, isn't as good. Don't at me. Kung Fu Panda. The first movie is fantastic. The second movie is perfect. The third movie, it's still great, it's just not as good. I will use The Godfather as my third example. Right, the first Godfather is amazing, one of the best movies of all time. Second one, just as good, if not a little better. And then the third one's got Sofia Coppola, and it's just not nearly as good. Right, that's how most trilogies work. Either that, or they get worse with each subsequent movie. I.e., The Matrix, right? The Matrix gets worse with each movie. Sonic is one of the few exceptions where no, they learn a little from their mistakes, and they get a little better with... Oh, God. Sonic is one of the few examples where they learn from their mistakes, and they get a little better with each movie. Are they perfect? No. Do they still have problems? Of course they do. But I think it all works really well. So this third movie is all built about Maria Robotnik and Shadow. Right? It's Shadow. We get to see Shadow's origin story. He fights Team Sonic. They bring in Gerald Robotnik, who teams up with Eggman. Because in the games, correct me if I'm wrong, Gerald Robotnik's dead by the events of Sonic Adventure 2. Yes, they do basically adapt Sonic Adventure 2. Are there some changes? Of course there's some changes. Plenty of them, actually. But they keep the important stuff, right? They keep Shadow and Maria as the heart of the movie. The human stuff, there's a lot less human stuff in this one. There is still one, major human scene. But, at no point in this movie does it hey, we're going to stop the movie for a wedding. Instead, we're going to stop the movie to see some Eggman bullshit. Because we've got two Jim Carreys, and, they're going to put their whole Jim Cussy into this one. And, oh boy, do they, Can't believe I've said that twice. Now, I could see someone's having a problem with how much Jim Carrey is in this movie. Because at several points, the movie basically does just stop and become, the Jim Carrey comedy 3 minutes, where he just does whatever he wants. I personally think it's hilarious. There's specifically a dance sequence between Robotnik and Gerald Robotnik, right? Between the two Robotniks, there's a dance sequence. I thought it was fucking hilarious. But it does basically stop the movie. There's another sequence, right before that, I think, where basically the same thing happens, where the movie just stops to see the two Robotniks having, some bonding time. And yeah, well, it's funny. It stops the movie. And at least I can defend the dancing one, because Robotnik / Jim Carrey has a dance sequence in all 3 movies. Right? That's tradition at this point. Whereas the previous thing, yeah, again, it was still kind of funny, but it's very obvious these are kids' movies. And yeah, Robotnik is not playing a mature villain. Except for, the one good line they have to get out of him, where he does play the mature adult villain. But that's kind of few and far in between. Shadow and Maria are the linchpin of this movie. They're the important characters. They are the heart. If I had to talk about one of my real, genuine problems with this movie, it's that we don't get enough of them. We start off with that opening action set piece in Tokyo. And then we cut back and we get a lot of the Maria backstory stuff. And then it mostly just disappears until near the end of the movie. I wish they had given us some more time with Shadow and Maria. And I wish they had built it up more throughout the movie. I wish we had gotten that opening scene with her, and her meeting Shadow for the first time. And then throughout the rest of the movie, they cut back to see it slowly building up, and we see them become friends. And then when the shoe does drop, it's a oh shit moment. We genuinely really care. Whereas how it currently is, you get all of it is very front loaded, and then in the middle of the movie, Shadow basically disappears to, again, focus on Jim Carrey and Robotnik. And that is a problem, I will say, with this movie, is that because it does have a lot of characters, some of them just kind of get left by the wayside to go focus on others in the middle of the movie, it's Shadow. Shadow mostly gets left by the wayside to go focus on the two Robotniks. Near the end of the movie, it's Tails and Knuckles. They kind of mostly get thrown by the wayside to deal with all the other plot points. They do come back eventually. But yeah, that is one of the problems I do have with this movie. I wish we had gotten more Shadow. I wish we had gotten more Maria. What we get is good, and that's why I know I want more of it, because what's already there is really good. Did I cry during this movie? Yes. Yes, it did actually get me. There's one specific scene near the end that totally got me. There's one other really good scene, but I'm going to put on the spoiler tag for that one. Would I recommend this movie? Of course. I already know the plot of Sonic Adventure 2, more or less. So, like, I knew what to expect going in. But I think as long as you've seen the previous two Sonic movies, this one isn't too hard to... Right? There's not anything that they're... Like, I've seen some people... Because critically, I think critically this movie's actually doing pretty decent. I think it's sitting at, like, an 86. Which I more or less agree with. But I've seen some people responding to, like, IGN's Nick. Because IGN, I think, gave it a 6 out of 10. And I've seen some people respond to IGN being like, no, if you were a fan of the game, then you'd understand this all made sense. I disagree with that take. You should not have to be a fan of the game to enjoy this movie. Actually, you should... Someone who has never even heard of the Sonic the Hedgehog games should still be able to enjoy this movie. And that shouldn't be a hot take, but I feel like in some circles of the internet, it definitely is. It should not at all be a hot take, though. But no, I feel like it does a good job. You know, the characters all have their motivations. They all do things that make sense. The human stuff is very toned down in this movie. Really, it's just, there's a scene early on, which is very important for, like, the emotional moment. And then there's the scene in the middle of the movie with the humans. And other than that, there's all, outside of, again, Jim Carrey, who is the antagonist, playing both of them. The human stuff is very understated in this movie. You know, this has about as much human stuff as I want from the modern-day Godzilla movies. Give them one scene in the middle of the movie, and then just call it a day. Because that's the Godzilla. Like, the Godzilla movies also kind of work the same way, where they get a little better with each movie, kind of, but that's because they realize, like, hey, we don't need as much human stuff in the new one. Right? Like, people watch the American Godzilla movies to see giant monsters fight. And when you're gonna have two giant monsters fight, just to cut away to see whatever Aaron Taylor Johnson's doing, I just don't like the movie as much. Now, of course, if you want to do a human movie with Godzilla in the background, right, where Godzilla's more of like an antagonist, yeah, you can totally do that. Godzilla Minus One is one of the best Godzilla movies ever, and Godzilla's not in that movie that much. But that movie knew how to do things correctly, right? It knew how to use Godzilla effectively, and what little it did have. But that's clearly not what the American movies are going for, right? The American movies are only one step away from, like, Fast and the Furious. And I think both types should be able to exist. And yeah, I think Sonic here, right, like, hey, we've seen all the human Sonic bullshit. Now give us some Sonic bullshit. Because Sonic has a lot of bullshit to draw from. And yeah, they definitely, with some of this Shadow stuff, we're definitely getting close. Like, we haven't gone fully into the bullshit yet. Like, spoiler alert, there's no Cream the Rabbit in this movie. Or there's no fucking Blake the Albatross or whatever the fuck their name is. Right, like, we haven't gone that far down the rabbit hole, but we're getting close. Within the next 2 movies, we will definitely be there. But I can enjoy where we are. So, I'm going to go into... So, yes, I do recommend this movie. If you have kids, they are going to love this movie. Especially if you've shown them the first 2. If you have not, guess what? The first 2 are on Paramount Plus. Go watch it. You do not have to see Knuckles to see this movie. Outside of one callback, Knuckles is entirely unnecessary to see. And even that callback can still just work because it's a reference to the previous 2 movies, kind of. You don't need to see Knuckles to see this, right? Just, hey, if you've seen the 2 previous Sonic movies, even if you haven't, you can probably still enjoy this, but I'd recommend seeing the first 2 Sonic movies anyways. It's really good. I'd highly recommend it. If you have a choice between taking your kids to see this and to seeing the latest Disney live-action slop, aka Mufasa, take them to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3. They will have a much better time in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Right? Yeah, sure, is Mufasa not the worst thing in the world? Supposedly, but there's no way it's better than this. This was so much more enjoyable. Is it definitely a kid's movie? Of course it is. It's a Sonic movie. But you know what? For what it is, I think it does a good job. Again, I'm not expecting Shakespeare from the Sonic movie. I'm not expecting it to be like, you know, fucking Dune. I don't need that level from the Sonic movie. I need it to be Sonic the Hedgehog. I need it to run fast. I need cool fight scenes, good moments, a heartfelt message, and it delivers on all of those fronts. So with that, let's do spoilers real quick. Spoilers for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. We're going to get into everything, what works, what doesn't. So, okay, so let's talk about Maria Robotnik. So early on in the movie, right, Sonic escapes from prison. He fights with a gun. We get a gun sequence. We knew it was in the trailers. Guess what? It's awesome. I didn't realize this in the trailer. In the movie, he does the Akira slide up the side of a building. It's awesome. Keanu Reeves is a great voice for Shadow the Hedgehog. It took me a second to get used to it. Admittedly, I don't know what I normally think of as the Shadow the Hedgehog voice, but when I first heard Keanu Reeves talk, I was like, wait, is that what I think of? You know what? Sure, it's fine. All the voice cast is good. But yeah, so Shadow fights Sonic, he eventually runs away, he goes back to where he was, like, held captive in the gun facility, which is now destroyed, and then this is where we get all the Maria Robotnik stuff. We see her coming on roller skates, she meets Shadow, you know, they watch a movie, they hang out, they dance. She takes him to see the stars, which I guess is like a piece of Sonic lore that was only created like this year. Like the first time Shadow and Maria seeing the stars together only dates back to Shadow and Sonic Generations, which only came out like 2 months ago, which definitely thinks it's something that they created for the movies that they then decided to add to the games. That's definitely how I think about it. I could be the opposite, but that would not at all surprise me. So that's where we get all the Maria stuff. And then, of course, it ends with, with like, hey, guess what? Gerald Robotnik's still alive. He's 110 years old. Again, I think it's a good idea to keep him alive, but I know some people disagree. There's a fourth wall breaking moment when Jim Carrey first meets Gerald. It's like when Ivo meets Gerald. It's like, oh wait, we're identical. Almost like almost like the same actor playing two separate roles. And they look into the camera, and I know a few weeks ago I complained about Moana having fourth wall breaks, and how Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just couldn't sell it. I did not like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's fourth wall breaks as Maui in Moana 2. They work. This one fourth wall break works here. And I think it's just because Jim Carrey is a better actor. Jim Carrey is a far better actor than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So when he does a fourth wall break, he just sells it. Whereas Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just doesn't. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I wish all this Maria... Like, if the Maria stuff had ended with her... With, like, them, like, touching hands together... And then we got more of it throughout the rest of the movie, I think it would have been fine. I just want more of it. We do get some good moments throughout. You know, a lot of this isn't like Mario levels of them putting like classic music into the thing, because there's a really weird moment early on where they play 99 Luftballons, but it only plays for like 3 seconds. And I was like, what the heck is... Like, if you're going to use a song, just use a classic game song. Especially if you're only going to use it for like 3 or 4 seconds. But, you know, it's fun. We get that big... So, there was a lot of talk about, is Tom going to die in this movie? Tom does not die, but he almost does. And in my opinion, one of the best moments in this film is so Tom, they have like disguising chips that can like disguise their faces. Tom does blackface. Spoiler alert, yeah, Tom does blackface in this movie because he disguises himself as the sister-in-law's husband, boyfriend, whatever. But that's blackface, right? Now, admittedly, like a second later, the wife does the opposite, right? She disguises herself as a white woman. Does that balance things out? No, not at all. But, like, maybe that's what they were going for? I don't know. It's a really weird choice. Like, honestly, if the movie had thought about it for more than a second, they could have just had them disguise as the director, like he does later on. But they clearly just didn't think about that, and I don't know. It's a weird moment. Again, is it blackface? Kind of. Is anyone going to be mad about it? I don't know. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. But yeah, it was when it happened, I was like, wait, what? But okay, so Tom, so they're after this key card. There's these 2 key cards that can activate the ultimate weapon. Shadow has one, and they're trying to get the other, and the other is taken by the gun lady, who I cannot think of the actress's name off the top of my head. They did not have to get a big name actress in this movie to play that role. I mean, maybe she'll come back in the next one, especially because they kill the director, right? You'll know him as the Olive Garden guy in the second movie, and then I guess the first one. Yeah, he dies in this movie. Very kind of understated. But so Tom disguises as him, gets the second key card, and as he's running away, he bumps into Shadow. And Shadow sees him, remembers him working at the gun facility 50 years ago, and punches him so hard in the chest he kills him. And then you get this fantastic moment where Sonic walks in, sees Tom lying dead on the ground, and kneels over him crying, telling him to wake up. And then we cut to Shadow, and he, like, has his PTSD flashback, where he sees himself standing over Maria's dead body. And that is a fantastic moment. That's one of the best moments in the film. All the human bullshit that the previous 2 films have had is justified by this one moment of, right, Sonic crying over Tom's dead body, only to see it turn into Shadow and Maria. One of the best moments in the movie. Honestly, again, that is the heart of the movie, and that's the first time we see Maria is dead, right? Like, they hint at it earlier, and we, of course, as someone who's played Sonic Adventure 2, I know Maria's dead. But, you know, for, like, kids who haven't done that, this is the first time you actually see Maria dead. I think it is a fantastic moment. I wish they had lingered on it a little bit more, because they move on from it pretty quickly. I wish they had, like, stayed on it. We had spent some time with Shadow and Gerald to just see them, like, more in the dead Maria. We do get a little bit more later on, because no, they don't actually shoot her in the head in this one. Instead, like, some soldiers are shooting at them, and they shoot, like, an energy tank, and the energy tank explodes, killing her. I kind of wish they had just committed to the bit and just actually shot her in the head. But it is a PG kids movie. I understand that they couldn't do that. I'm sure behind the scenes, there was definitely talk about it. I'm sure there's a deleted scene where they did actually shoot her in the head like they did in the games. But no, that's a good moment. Another great moment was finally the reveal, because Stone... Oh, they put in a Shadow the Hedgehog watches a Spanish soap opera, because of course, Shadow and Latinas, they work that into this movie. No, Eggman doesn't make an announcement. He doesn't talk about how he misses his wife. They do hint that he's like bi or pan, which I 100%, I said this at the end of the second movie, I ship Stone and Eggman. You cannot convince me otherwise. And the fact that Eggman makes his dying moments his message to Stone, they're 100% gay lovers, and you cannot convince me otherwise. 1000%. Toxic Doomed Yowie? Sure. Sure, if that's the words you want to use, I'm down. But, so I do enjoy that. But yeah, there's this moment where Shadow, like, Shadow hints that, like, hey, when we're done here, there's not going to be an Earth left. Because that's the whole thing. There's, like, this super weapon that Gerald created. And Ivo wants it to, rule the world. But Gerald's like, no, we're not going to rule the world. We're going to destroy it. Gerald tells Ivo that you may be my grandchild, but you'll never be Maria. And that's a good heartbreaking moment. Because, yeah, it turns Eggman into, the hero, one of the heroes at the end of this movie. Spoiler alert, this is potentially Jim Carrey's last film ever. And if this is how it ends, with him sacrificing himself to save the world, you know what? It's a good place to go off on. We all knew we couldn't have Jim Carrey in these movies forever. But if this is how they end the story with Eggman, with him sacrificing himself to save the world, and I hope they make a joke about that in the next one. Like, I hope in the next movie, we see, like, a statue of Eggman, and it being, like, the hero who saved the world, and, like, we see Stone. Like, I hope they bring Stone back, because I like Stone. I said this in the second one as well. I totally think Stone could be the main antagonist. I've also seen speculation that maybe we get, like, a Stone and Shadow show, or I'd even take a Stone and Shadow movie. Honestly, I would take a Shadow the Hedgehog movie that has Stone as the main antagonist. And the movie's plot's all about, like, legacy, like, hey, after the people we love die, what do we keep living for? Shadow's trying to find his meaning, and meanwhile Stone thinks his meaning is that, hey, if Eggman's dead, now I'm gonna be the one to try to rule the world. I think that's good enough motivation. I think that could work. So, of course, I could see that being a TV show. I'd want it to be a movie, though. Just give us more Shadow the Hedgehog. I don't want a second season of Knuckles, but I'd love to see Knuckles in the Chaotix as its own movie. I know, right, we're sick of franchises. I'd watch more of these. Like, I know we're getting a Sonic the Hedgehog 4. I'll talk about the post-credit scenes here in a second. But yeah. I think everything this movie does is good, right? Yeah. Do I wish we got more Maria? Of course I do. But I think what we have here is fine. At the end, when, Robotnik sacrifices himself, so does Shadow, but your final post-credit scene is, surprise, surprise, Shadow the Hedgehog is still alive, because of course they're not going to kill Shadow. It'd be a fool's errand to kill Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, he's the ultimate life form. The final fight scene between Shadow and Sonic is really good. You have this you have this moment leading up to it, because they talk about, like, hey, well, shouldn't we just use the Master Emerald and have Sonic go supersonic to defeat this? And they're like, nope, we made a promise not to use it, right? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. We're not going to use the Emerald. And then after Tom dies, spoiler alert, Tom doesn't die, Shadow goes to fight Knuckles for the Emerald. But right before the fight starts, Knuckles stops it and is like, no, you're my friend. I'm going to trust you. If you say we need the Emerald, we need the Emerald. Sonic goes to Shadow. They fight. Shadow punches the Emerald out of Sonic. They both run for the Chaos Emeralds. They both become supersonic. It's an awesome fight scene. The final moment where, Sonic decides not to kill Shadow, connecting back to the very beginning of the movie, I think is well done. Again, the humans aren't in this that much, but what little is done is effective. Right? Instead, where we would have gotten more human stuff, we got more Robotnik stuff, which I know is technically more human stuff, but it's different. So that's all good. I think the movie ends on a good note. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I love all the references to the games. When they jump out of the helicopter, he uses the line from Sonic Adventure 2. When when all three of them are flying around, it's in the Sonic Heroes formation, right? You got a lot of good, solid references like that. You got a lot of classic music. Live and Learn plays like 5 times in this movie. You got a lot of the classic poses that people are excited for. It's great, right? It's everything you'd want from it. I'm sure people would have wanted a little more. But for what I got here, I am happy with it. So I talked about the second post-credit scene. The first post-credit scene, though, after, you know, the initial, like, credits play, is it's Sonic. He's ended up in New York, and he gets attacked by Metal Sonic. The Metal Sonic design, fantastic. Perfect Metal Sonic design. Exactly what you want it to be. There's an army of them. And then, right as Sonic's about to face off against all these Metal Sonics, who comes in but Amy? She saves Sonic. We don't hear her speak, right? She's in like a hood. She unveils the hood. We see it's Amy. Movie ends. So, of course, they're going to cast somebody as Amy. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. They're going to get somebody big name. If I had to guess predictions for the films, it looks like they're probably going to adapt Sonic Heroes. Right? Sonic Heroes deals with time travel. Amy's an important role. I could see them introducing Cream. I could see... Again, if we get a separate Shadow movie, which I totally think we could... Right, I could see them introducing Rouge. I could see them introducing that robot who I don't like. But I could see us getting Team Amy with Cream and... Big the Cat isn't on Team Amy, is it? I honestly don't remember where Big the Cat comes in these things. But no, right, my guess is something to do with time travel. I don't know if we're going to get, like, Silver the Hedgehog and get Sonic 06 stuff. I could see that. Of course, Metal Sonic could be the new big villain. You know, get Metal 2 or whatever as, like, the final boss. Metal fused with Chaos or whatever. If we're in New York, right, we got to get Metal fused with Chaos or whatever it is. I admittedly don't remember Sonic Heroes, like, at all. I'm a little rusty on Sonic Heroes, so I definitely have to, you know, put that one through the ringer again. But, you know, other than that, get some Sonic CD stuff. Because Sonic and Metal Sonic are known for racing each other. Like, in Sonic CD, that's where you get introduced to Metal Sonic. Is when he races normal Sonic. So have the two race. Give us an awesome race between the two characters. Just have fun with it, man. I'm pretty sure Sonic 4 has already been greenlit. I mean, the movie's in its opening day made like $65 million. So that's already off to a good start. Especially compared to Mufasa, who made half that much. So of course, I'd sit down to... Is this the point? Is Sonic the Hedgehog 4 where these movies all start to fall apart? Maybe. I honestly think we've got one more solid one in us. You know, doing Amy, doing Cream, doing Metal Sonic. I think we've got one more good movie, and then I could see it all start to fall apart, you know. The more stupid side characters you get, the riskier things become. But I think there's good stuff to be done here still. Right, again, I'm not worried, like, I want Knuckles Chaotix. But the second you start getting, like, Espio the Chameleon and Charmy the Bee, that's kind of the point where you kind of got to be worried. It'd be like how in the second Mario movie. Like, I doubt we're going to get Wario, but man, would I be excited for Wario. Because he's fucking Wario, man. Why wouldn't I be excited? Honestly, the Mario movies have some catching up to do. Because, like, while I did really enjoy the Mario movie, and they definitely do, like, the third Sonic movie is even still probably behind to the amount of stuff from the games they put into the Mario Brothers movie. But even that aside, I still think the third Sonic movie did a lot correct. I think it was good, I think it was solid, it was fun, it was entertaining, easy recommendation. Again, I'd probably stick to an 8 out of 10, but that's a good score. I mean, I know we're living in an IGN era where 6 out of 10 is bad. Or where, you know, 8 out of 10 is still just okay. But I think it's decent. Oh shit, have I been running the Marble League this whole time in the background? Oh shit, I think I have. Oops. At least it's been muted. Alright. Yeah, I must have hit play on accident at some point. Alright, let's mark our thing. Yeah, that's basically all I gotta say about Sonic. Go watch Sonic. It's really good. Out of the 2 big movies you can go see this holiday season, I would recommend it over Mufasa any day of the week. Especially if you have kids. Oh, shit. Alright, let's go hit up the stores real quick. I'm going to go get a drink of water, and then we'll do the Marble League. Anything else I got to say about Sonic? It's just good, man. Like, it shows that the people making these movies are big fans of Sonic, and it feels like with every successful movie they make, the studio lets them dip into their Sonic knowledge a little bit more, lets them get away with a little bit more stuff, and by this point it's very clearly paying off. And it just makes sense to adapt Sonic the Hedgehog 3, or to Sonic Adventure 2, I mean. It's just like a very logical adaptation. God, that's a lot. I mean, I know we're millionaires, but still, that's a lot. Alright, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna go get some water, and then we'll be right back. I guess we should switch back to Sad Boy Hour, because we are still in Sad Boy Hour. That should hopefully be fine. Alright, so we got 4 events today.
Think of the swanky lounges,
I think it's 4, it might be 5, but I think it's only 4.
Well-polished floors.
We got bowling here, we got curling, ski jump, and then mountain climbing, I think it's your 4th.
Sport in the frigid outdoors with a
I'll be honest, I'm...
The goal is getting as many of those dominoes down as
We're back in Sad Boy Hour. I didn't point this out earlier.
We'll see how it
We
turns
are
out
still
in this
totally
crucial
in Sad Boy Hour
in the hunt for the championship
because
in the 2024 Winter Marble League.
things have not been going well for us here in Team Galactic. And I'll tell you, things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. I don't even know if they've gotten better.
We'll give you the scoring right there so you can see the different colors of dominoes. We'll be referencing back to that throughout this event.
I think it's events 8 through 11.
With only one team event left to go.
So this is the final team event of the league.
You notice how
No, curling is. Excuse me.
Those standings were at the beginning of this video.
Curling is the last team event.
Separating last from first.
So this is all right. Bowling, you get 2 runs. You get one hit right. Marbles counts for different
Drizzle comes down
points.
and gives us
If you
a
rack up enough points, you get the win.
You can see in the upper corner there the different types of dominoes that were knocked
I'll
down, and
be
the total
honest.
score will be a
We're going to see a
combination of
pattern
two
here,
runs,
because I've already
like
seen
in
this
regular
one.
bowling.
We're
Leave
going
them
to
out
see a
there.
pattern. This
Set
Minty
the marble
Maniacs
in this
one
case.
is not
And
representative of what we're
back
going to be
rows knocking
seeing,
down
because it's
three
going to get
of
bad.
those flashing dominoes.
It's going to be
15
bad.
to 31 for a total of 46 here in the demo. As we get started with
I'm still...
Stinger
Oh, God, you can
from
hear
the
my
Bumblebees.
sickness.
The
You can
team
hear me
sits in
dying.
last place in the standings. Oh, solid impact right down the middle. And that's what you want, that chain reaction. Stinger goes 45.
Yeah,
in the
a chain
first
reaction
run.
is nice, but it comes with some
Captain of the
unforeseen
Bumblebees, trying to
consequences.
capitalize.
I split it. I should have split it like a few minutes ago.
Oh, an incredible
That.
first run. Oh, but goes
That
right
is
down the
representative of
alleyway.
what we're going to be seeing.
Did not turn the
Where when they
corner and
clear
leaps
out
of
that
the arena.
entry path, that opening line,
45 and a 0
they just get a 0.
for the Bumblebees.
We're going to see that
They'll take
so
45
much
if
today.
that demo run was
And it's
anything to
gonna
go off of
suck.
from the Minty Maniacs.
Again, we're
Once we
totally
get
in
into
sad boy hour
competition,
here.
Seems like records and expectations always fall.
We're not having a
Oh,
good time.
late combo of dominoes falling down here. I guess it doesn't matter timing as long as they fall in the end. 41 on the first roll for the captain of the Hazers. It appears we're going in reverse standings. Hazers second to last team and does the exact same
still
thing
garbage.
that we just saw of the Bumblebees. Could not get it turned, and Cloudy nets a goose egg. Bumblebees stay on top with 45. Ember from the Solar Flares, silver medalists, back in the half pipe.
I already know this one isn't fun. That's the worst part, is I already know how this all ends.
To attack the
And it's not
going to
end well for us.
Dominoes there. 3 flashing, 3 teal. So the flashings, LED dominoes, those are worth 5 points each. Teal is worth 3. Those cyan ones are 2. You don't want to knock down the reds. That will take away points. And a 24 for Radiance here, and that's more like it.
See, that's 70. See, that's because you didn't get one down the middle. That just wasted everything. Here we go. Team Galactic. We're running Quasar.
They are your top team.
Okay, we hit a lot in the middle. But other than that, I mean, you know, we've left a lot up that as long as we get a little bit of variation, we'll be fine.
It's a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, too close for comfort, but
red domino that take away points.
Fuck everything.
Was a narrow lane,
God damn it! Why? Why?
In regular bowling, you can kind of count on some from the lane.
It's just not our Marble League. Literally everything that could go wrong is going wrong. And a 26 is fucking awful. Like, that's bad. But they're gonna recover from that fine. You're gonna watch. They're gonna recover from that just fine. Meanwhile, we just straight down the middle and fucking lost everything.
Our hosts looking for points.
And then we're gonna get to curling in the next event. And all that great accuracy we just have, fucking gone. We're gonna be hitting stuff up and down, completely missing the center. It's gonna be terrible.
Gliding Glaciers had a lot of fun setting up these events.
It really is sad boy hour out here.
Paradoxically, they haven't always been to their liking. Raspberry Racers coming down now.
I'm not.
Excellent run.
Everything's going wrong, and even like the red dominoes that are -3. That's only -3. That's nothing.
Top side of your screen there on the right. Movement did not fall. A 50 in the first run for Raspberry Racers. They need just 20 here to tie the lead, and they go right.
If you open up the middle, 9 times out of 10 you'll just hit it.
For Rozzy.
Opening up the middle just seems to be such a bad choice.
Well, it doesn't stop them from chanting because that 50 is still good enough for second place.
Yeah, look at that.
Behind the Solar Flares.
They basically got double our score, and that was just on a single run. Because they also just hit it straight down the middle.
In fact, they are the highest ranked team not to medal, and they start off with a 54. Quick down
Yeah.
the chute and also
Yeah, opening
unable
up
to get
the
a
middle
turn.
is one of the
I think
worst
marbles
things
are
you
a
can
bit
do here.
surprised.
Because
they thought they would be able to manipulate their pathway
just
once
awful.
they got down onto the sheet of ice, and it just has not been working. From the teams that are yet to go, there's only so much you can gain from watching. You've really got to try it. Well, this was a nice one. Look at that pathway. Two separate
this is
runs
Momo.
of dominoes that are falling. Anytime you can get multiple ones going, you are in better shape, and that 64 is going to be good enough to put Team Momo into second place by themselves. Let's see if they can get any more points here. No!
Can't believe I got sick right before Christmas. I know exactly who got me sick
And
as
so
well.
the 64
I can tell you
will
the
stay.
exact coworker who was sick on like Tuesday
And they
who
move
gave
into
it to
second
me.
place.
Fucking
After
sucks.
8 runs.
Look, there we are in
Little players
last
Team Momo,
place.
Balls of Chaos, Raspberry
26.
Racers, Bumblebees, Hazers, Gliding Glaciers,
Fuck.
and Team Galactic.
God, I
Yellow's Marble
hate
Runs is
everything.
excited to announce the launch of our toy brand that has everything you need to run your own Yellow's Marble Race in the comfort of your home. Start off with our Collector Series marbles, which includes 32 of our most popular teams. Or you can buy sets of 10 marbles, so you can have team races with one of our Skyway Chase Marble Run sets. Once you launch the marbles with our custom Skyway starter piece,
Oh, you want to hear my
marbles will make their
marbles?
way down the track until a winner emerges. And to track their progress, you can use one of the 5 competition racing brackets.
I have them all in a
included
cup right
to
now.
bring your marble run to life.
What am I
and
going to do
play
with them?
Yellow
I have no
Thread.
idea.
You will find everything
But there
you
they
need
all
to
are.
get started inside the box, including an instruction manual with building ideas, and you can download our free app that allows you to have your race announced by me.
Yeah, I was
Race
messing around
Announced.
with them and I
You
put
can
them all in
also
a cup.
play
I'm going to
Yellow's
wash them
Skyway
before I put
Chase
them back
like
in
a
case.
traditional marble run too. So come and join the Yellow's Marble Run community, and let's race. Shop now on yellowsmarbleruns.com. The blocks are reset down on the ice. The Mint Mobile marbles are checking to make sure everything is lined up and square as it needs to be. Ready for the Wolf Pack now here in run number 9. Initial impact yielded 1 run of dominoes going down, but little else for Remus. Serious for the Wolf Pack. Also a team that has 1 silver medal. There's several of those in the field today. Tries again, and that's a much better result on the second attempt. 43, and that goes to 63.
Yeah, it puts him up in
1
third.
point short of Momo in second place. But it moves the Wolfpack into tentative bronze medal position. Savage Speeders ended up ricocheting down to the near side, missed internal impacts in the domino field, instead went around. Might have been a faster pathway for the Speeders, but not the most strategic. Oh, second run here is a lot better.
Ooh.
36 points. Added to the first run of 26 goes 62. That's 1 point short of the run that we just saw. So they are 1 spot off of the podium. Spade for the Blackjacks.
Yeah.
Silver medalists back in the bobsled. Goes for 38 in run 1.
I know. I want to say there's another team that ties us with
Surveys the
26,
field. Tries to
but
get
I
to the
couldn't tell you
side
which
and
one is
does.
which. Definitely not this one.
Chip down a few more.
But I think we get tied up.
25. That puts them up into third spot at 63 points as well. Blackjacks
Just so
are
brokenhearted.
in the bronze position for now. Competition is heating up the farther we get into this, even though it is mighty chilly out here today. It would be remiss for me not to mention, by the way, that you can check out all of our new hoodie colors.
Yeah, God, almost
in our
everyone's
merchandise store.
single
So help
run
support the channel.
is
Give that
better
a
than
look,
our
and
double
stay warm
run.
in the process. It's a win-win.
And like, we just
Second
took
run
the
here
middle.
for the Chocolatiers.
Oh, wow, the red one. Somebody
Sit
actually
in
hit the
fifth
red
in
one.
the overall
Oh, wow, does that
standings
do
for the
anything?
Marble League.
No.
They did knock down a red
It
domino.
minuses
That takes
3.
away 3. Otherwise, that would have had them in the top 5. Instead, they sit in 6th.
All right, here we go.
Green
Billy
Ducks
from the
have
Green
the
Ducks.
bronze medals of any team, but those are the only medals that the Green Ducks have. That still is good enough to put them in 4th in the overall standings. What do they do here in the first run of bowling? It's 29.
He's going to shoot it straight down the center. Most other teams have.
He's been able to push past that solar flares 70.
Yep, just straight down the center. So that's bad, but not as bad as us.
And Ducky.
God. You just did so bad.
29 Green Ducks down in 12th. That will hurt them at the start of the second half. Next event. Snowballs come down now and aim toward the left side.
If we just had a medal, I'd be like, it sucks, but at least we've got our medal, right? At least we did good once. But with this event, we are now halfway through the Marble League, and we've got nothing. Absolutely nothing to show for it.
Angles left, misses everything, and the Snowballs, our third-place team in the Marble League, goes down to 14th. Jump from the Jungle Jumpers. Does a good job on the left side of the domino field. 35. If they replicate that, that will tie our leaders. Jungle Jumpers twice.
Oh shit, the people who built Breath of the Wild in Minecraft have officially finished.
And they get a 0.
Oh, that's great. I actually do want to check that out.
Players are guaranteed no worse than a silver. Team Momo, no worse than a bronze, but it's Team Blackjack that are hoping they can hold on to that third place position pending this run.
Can you just download it?
Final runs here, and that's a solid.
Oh yeah, it looks like you can just download it.
Middle of the domino field to the tune of
it's 2 gigabytes. Holy shit. That's cool. That's cool that you can just, like, I would assume they would lock it behind a Patreon. No, it looks like, Grazzy? I am Grazzy? Yeah, you can just download it. That's cool.
One of them falls down, adding just 3 points in what looked to be a great run from the Crazy Cat Size.
I like that.
Fizzles
you know,
in 10th.
Because they could have totally locked that behind a Patreon.
Result, the Solar Flares.
The Solar Flares, that's their second, that's at least their second medal. Gosh dang it.
Their second medal overall, Team Momo.
We're the good space team. Not them. They're not supposed to be the good space team. And yet they're kicking our ass. They're not too high ahead of us. They're not doing great. Other than the 2 medals they've got, they're not doing amazing, if I remember correctly. And I mean, at least we're not doing as bad as the Hazers. Like, it could always be worse for us.
Absolutely needed that. They are sitting in 14th in the overall standings with just 37 points and 1 silver medal.
Yeah, that only helps them so much.
Team to have gotten a single medal in these games.
That's their first ever gold.
Let's see where they go. Watch them at the bottom there. 14, they move up to
12. See, they're not doing too much better than us. But they are doing better than us. I'm surprised the Bumblebees are doing so bad. I feel like the Hazers I get. Things have not been going well for the Hazers for a while, actually. But the Bumblebees have been pretty good recently.
You're listening to KABC in Los Angeles. We've got clear skies, a perfect 68.
Oh, are they doing the Murder Hornets? Can you believe I was reading an update on the Murder Hornet story? There are officially no more Murder Hornets in Washington. They were successfully able to eradicate all the Murder Hornets, and it has been 3 years without a single new one, so that's, like, fully successful. Fantastic. That's where we should be putting our government money, on shit like that. Like, for every $1 we spend on the military, we should be spending money on shit like that. But no, instead, we're gonna buy fucking billion-dollar planes that don't work.
We are back in this Bonspiel.
So this is our final team event, curling. You know how curling works.
Slide down across the ice. Give the appropriate curl if they want it, and land somewhere down the.
We're still inside Subway Hour.
That one A safe shot off to the left side in the 1-point ring.
I would. It's the article. Ben Schwartz wants a Sonic and Mario movie with Chris Pratt. I would love to see a Mario and Sonic movie, and I would love to see them both like Sonic is supersonic, Mario is powered up with a star, and as they're fighting like across the world, we see them go to like an Olympic stadium and fight.
Second shot.
Just as like a neat little reference. That'd be cool.
And they also put a guard on the other side. Now it's up to the Minty Maniacs. Let's see if they can create some collisions. They bump and get right there in the center. But with that one sitting in the white ring, it's currently a 2-1 match.
If my like I've had I've been sick, but it's all been in my nose. The fact that I'm now getting a cough, that's bad.
Heavy shot here, and they curl it around. They do. They put one in the white and tie it up at 3. Here in the fourth end. Ooh, they actually bumped the Minty Maniacs into the ring, and that gives them the win.
I know we're up against the Green Ducks in this. And one of us has to win. And God, the Green Ducks. The Green Ducks are coming into this thing, and they're like, call an ambulance, but not for us. But we'll get to it.
Shot that just comes up short. A 0 for the Glaciers here in the first end. Momo uses them and bounces into that 3-point red ring. And that gives them the tentative lead. Gliding Glaciers go on the opposite side and try a slightly heavier shot. Worth 2. Momo in the second end. Across the button and out of the back of the house. Gliding Glaciers starting off the third end with a solid shot, but open to ricochets right now. That's why some teams will put down guards.
I'm just struggling. It feels like I'm struggling to exist. And this is a half-hour long event.
Out of where they need to be.
Oh my God!
It's a gamble, however, when you're playing from behind.
And it's funny because this week, right, we've got all the long stream. Next week is going to be one of the longest streams this year. I say that like you didn't do fucking 16 hours of Pikmin. Next week's stream is going to be 4 hours long, but that's because we're doing Game of the Year next year. And the Game of the Year stream is always super long. Especially because we have more stuff to talk about. Like, I put all my predictions in. That's what I've been writing this week. I have not written Game of the Year, but I've written 2024 in review, and I've written down my 2025 predictions. So that's all done. Mostly. And then I just got to do Game of the Year, which, I'll be honest, I haven't even thought about. Like, outside of like a few things where I'm like, yeah, that's going to be on there. That's obviously going to be there. I haven't even figured out the rest of it. And there's still, I usually always try to throw in something last minute. So we're going to at least get one last minute game on my Game of the Year list. I just don't know what it is right now. I know, I'm waiting. Maybe I'll play, usually I look at Mark Brown's recommendations at the end of the year. Maybe I'll just actually play Mark Brown's game and put that on it.
Solar flares, are they going to immediately try to displace them? Yes, they do. And knock the snowballs out into the 3-point ring. How do the snowballs respond? That high guard doing its job. Especially the early shots in curling, you are trying to figure out the complexion of the ice. How is it behaving? In this case, it worked out pretty well for the solar flares. That was a key moment. Followed up the next.
Oh, you know what I didn't talk about, which I should talk about now? I played the Astrobot Christmas level. Last week I talked about it, but I hadn't played it.
Savage Speeders and the Blackjacks getting us started here. Or the Savage Speeders, we neglected to mention who some.
I sat down. I played the Astrobot Christmas level. It's fantastic. It's a beautiful little Christmas level. It uses all of the game's power-ups. It is the only other level in the game to have the bear power up and the mouse power up. Because those are each in like their own levels that only that level uses. But no, now this level has the bear and the mouse. And they're both really good moments. I love the mouse moment especially. It's got some great costumes. It's got Gex, it's got Rayman, and then it has Spider-Man, which is like the one character that was missing from the base game. That was actually really surprising he wasn't there.
Here's Diamond.
It's got Spider-Man, it looks great. I enjoy, the Holiday Astrobot level was just icing on the cake. We know we're getting more stuff probably, so it's going to be curious to see what they do next. Give us a speedrun level with the mouse. I'd be really curious to see that. Because I could see us getting a second set of speedrun levels.
8-4, the Blackjacks.
Because I don't think there was a level that used the chicken. I know there wasn't a level that used the bear. I know there wasn't a level that used the mouse.
They were bronze medalists.
I want to say, I know there was a dog one. Was there a chicken one? All right, here we go. Green Ducks versus Team Galactic are not rivals, but, you know, I've been rooting against them because of personal connections.
Starting off with a 2. Green Ducks in 8th in the standings.
Come on.
They're all the way down in 14th.
You know, you were going a little too hard and you weren't accurate enough.
Green Ducks curling out.
Meanwhile, they're just hitting right onto that 2. Come on, just good, accurate, down the center, not too fast, not too slow. That was a little, we went a little over one way, now we've gone a little under.
Might find the middle.
Come on. Or maybe they just hit us.
For the Green Ducks.
Okay, that's a point. It's not great.
Into the house. At the end of the
nope, that just bumps them up.
5-2, the Ducks are leading.
Fuck.
With Quacky.
Come on. Oh, that's going way off to the side. And that's slow as hell. Okay, we need one good, powerful shot down the center to move our guys closer. Oh, no.
Trying to get a combo, and it didn't work. Team Galactic goes
gosh
down.
Dang it. Why is nothing working? Why are we doing so bad?
Picture this. Saving up to 10% when you bundle your home and auto insurance.
The team is free to choose.
Everything just keeps getting worse and worse for us. Every week we do a little worse.
You don't have to use the
Fuck.
same 4 marbles.
Why?
Perhaps
why do we continue to exist if not to torture us? Why marbles? Why?
Bumble and Bonbon both unable to find the house here.
Gosh dang it.
Heading into the second end.
This existence is nothing but pain. Marble pain.
Sliding right in the same direction. Barely any contact between them. They're safe in the 1 ring.
Nothing's going right. Nothing's going right. And we still have to sit through all this curling.
Right out. I think got that throw just a bit wrong. Ends up over curling back to the right. Trying to catch that outer ring.
Gosh dang it.
And
why do you...
Coco just off.
I just want one. Is one medal so much to ask for? I mean, again, at least we're not the hazers.
Fudge.
Like, we could be worse, but we're doing so bad. I want to say somebody ran the numbers, and we've got, like, less than a 1% chance to podium. Like, if we did good on every future event, we'd have to, like, get golds. Because we've got, less than a 1% chance to get a podium.
Hazers and the Wolfpack. Ooh.
It's just been going so poorly.
Foggy just shoots right through it. Here's Balto. Wolfpack in the middle of the pack, 9th in the overall standings right now. Hazers are dead last. 1 apiece.
And I want to say, even like when all the standings come done here, we're actually not doing like terribly. I want to say we finished this event at like 8. Like, somewhere it's at 8 or 9, but still.
Oh, missed hitting on the nose and instead knocks out a teammate. Sirius much closer to the center line. A safe one up top. Guarding that button, making sure that if the Hazers want to get there, they're going to have to curl around or get a ricochet, and they go right
Water
past
tastes
it.
like poison once
End up in
again.
the blue ring for 1 point. Wolfpack
Honestly, this gets me... The one thing this stream does get me is it does get me to drink water.
It's safe here, absolutely.
I probably
didn't even want to get
drink
close.
more water on stream than I do not on stream.
The 4-2 lead.
That's not true at all, actually. At least right now when I'm sick, because like water sounds awful. I'd much rather have like a lemonade or just something with flavor in it. But no,
Cats go straight on through. They were bronze medalists in
we're stuck here
in the qualifiers back in 2018 in curling. Jungle Jumpers. This is kind of a new opportunity for the Jungle Jumpers. They were not in the Marble League the last time we had this.
That's crazy. That is crazy, the fact that the Jungle Jumpers weren't even in here last time. You know what else? So back when the qualifiers happened, and the Cobalts came in what? 16th out of they didn't qualify basically. I think they came in 13, and to qualify you needed to be in the top 12. So when that happened, someone on the Reddit put out a post being like, "Hey, this is an open letter to Sapphire, the coach of the Cobalts, that you need to retire." And I remember I read the open letter at the time and been like, "Oh, okay, whatever." As of this week, it was officially announced that Sapphire is stepping down as the coach of the Cobalts. Because the Cobalts, again, they're getting a little bit better each year. But this year was not enough for them to qualify. So maybe bringing in a new coach will finally be the thing that pushes them over the edge and makes them qualify. Maybe. Either that or it's just going to make things worse. I mean, firing your coach is at least a better move than whatever the hell the team primary did. Because that was awful, and that's going to blow up in their face.
Balls of Chaos 10th in the overall standings. Raspberry Racers right below them in 11th. An opportunity
like that, whatever team primary did, like that's such a weird decision.
Well into the top 10.
I think it was promoting their reserve to captain.
Third shot here. Balls of Chaos. That's Anarchy. Rezi coming up now in the last throw of the second end. We do 4 ends, by the way. Clutter. Notch that white ring, 2 more.
I feel I'm dying.
Have 2 at the back of the house. Raspberry Racers sending easy now. Too heavy. I think they were trying to catch that center back Balls of Chaos, remember, but unable to do so. Disarray. Right in that red ring. Very nice. 8-0 is the lead, and Raspberry Racers are just going to have to chuck this and see if they can create
that's a crazy
diff. All of the marbles there. They guarantee that it's not a shutout, but 8-2. Easy. As we round out the heats, the Balls of Chaos.
Fucking
Gary, for me?
I know I should just do premium or an ad blocker.
And 9th to 16th
oh shit
is set.
Okay, we're 13th. Maybe I'm thinking of the next event where we do better. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, the next event, skiing. For some reason I thought we did pretty high on this one, but I guess not.
Sets of 10 marbles, so you can have team races with one of our Skyway Chase Marble Run sets. And to track their progress, you can use one of the 5 competition racing brackets we've included. So come and join the Yella's Marble Runs community, and let's race.
I'm dying.
Shop now on yellasmarbleruns.com.
I'm dying, and yet I said I would watch this.
The heats are complete. Now,
Oh, you know what? I still need to watch that. The Inside Out show.
First into this tournament knockout format. A lot on the line here to try to field these marbles. As Team Momo and the Solar Flares get us underway. Momo in 6th in the standings. Solar Flares, I mentioned, down in 12th.
I'm trying not to throw
they
up.
try to go head-to-head here.
Oh, my gosh.
2 apiece in the first end.
Come on, don't throw up.
Mo goes dead down the middle here and just misses out on a solid landing on the button. Still collects the points. They go up 5-2. Scorch.
So I was talking about games.
Laying down a guard.
Before the end of the... I really do want to finish Mario and Luigi Brothers ship before the end of the year. I don't think I will, especially because I'm sick now. And that just makes me want to sleep for like 20 hours. But... I did really want to finish Mario and Luigi Brothers ship before the end of the year. I'm pretty sure I've still got like another 30 hours in that game though. Which is kind of crazy because it doesn't feel like it. But I'm pretty sure I do. Like the fact that I'm already like into the 3rd sea would make me think I'm like a little, like probably a little under like halfway through. But nope, I guess not.
For the Solar Flares, 8-5.
Again, another 8. That's impressive from the Solar Flares.
Blackjacks and Green Ducks. We start things off with Heart.
Come on, don't die and don't throw
Back
up.
left of the white 2-point ring. Green Ducks try to curl it toward the center. Just off. They stay in the 2-point ring as well. This is Club going into the 1, giving Blackjacks the lead. Billy moving outward, trying to knock that marble from the house, but can't do it. Instead,
you know,
beyond.
I bought muffins the other day, but because I've been sick, I haven't even had a muffin yet.
They add on to their
Oh,
lead.
it breaks my heart. I was so excited to have I love muffins. You know, sometimes they just have to die.
Here for the Green Ducks into the red.
A muffin. Please, I want that. But yeah, I haven't even had one.
Oh.
Look at that.
Ends up
that's good for the Green Ducks.
But the Blackjacks do get some more points. Final throw. Are the Green
Okay,
Ducks
that almost ruined things. But they still kind of were able to pull it together at the end.
Green Ducks finish 7-6. Bumblebees and the Wolfpack getting us going with Honey. That throw dead down the middle, but too far. Balto.
So I keep seeing all of these Switch 2 like UI concepts, and while there are some interesting ideas, you know it's just gonna like because that's one of the things the Switch 2 like prides itself on is how simple of a UI it has, and that way it takes no times to turn on the console. And it takes no time to boot up games, right? Because most other consoles, to have a quick load-in time and a quick boot time, they just require being having really good hardware. Whereas the Switch, it's okay, but because they have a minimal UI, you know, they don't have to worry about it. But they still could have totally added in themes. Like, there's nothing stopping them from adding themes. I don't know why they never did, especially because the 3DS had so many. But I keep seeing people create all these UI concepts for the Switch 2 with all these different themes, and it's like, it's never going to happen. It's never going to look like this. You will inevitably be disappointed. That kind of sucks. You know, I would love to... Again, I would love to see Nintendo put some themes on the Switch 2. I would love for them to put Nintendo Music integration, so that way whenever you turn on your Switch, it just automatically starts playing music from like one of your pre-selected playlists. That'd be really cool. Oh, I did. Nintendo Music updated. They added Skyward Sword music, which Skyward Sword is the best Zelda soundtrack. right? Like, I like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom's very understated soundtrack. I have an appreciation for that. But the orchestral Skyward Sword themes are the best music Nintendo's ever made. It is the best Zelda music. I'm so glad Nintendo Switch Online got Skyward Sword. It desperately needed it. I wish they would add 2 games a week. I wish they would add a game on Monday and a game on Wednesday. Instead, right now, they only add a game on Monday. Or even a game on Monday and, like, Thursday or Monday and Friday.
Watching what Clutter does. Also going to dice and try to go for that inner ring.
I just wish they would add more. And they're set to do 1 a week. I mean, I like that they're not doing all, like, the popular choices. I love that they're giving, like, some smaller games some time to shine. But there's so many big games that they just don't have.
Big throw here for...
Like, I don't even think they have... Like, we got Skyward Sword. We have Ocarina. I don't think there's Link to the Past, and I don't think there's Majora's Mask. But I would love to see those 2 games get integration. But I want the Switch 2 to have integration.
Save 5% on Apple products when you pay with the Target Circle card.
And yeah. Yeah, fuck this movie. Do not see this movie, see Sonic the Hedgehog. Fuck that movie.
And so more of the bracket is filled.
Did they when did they add Metroid Prime Remastered?
Check out our Skyway Chase.
Oh shit, I don't. When did they add that? I don't remember them adding that.
We get to share.
And then they've got Skyward Sword in Skyward Sword HD. They've got the Wii U Breath of the Wild in the Wii U Mario Kart 8.
Solar flares and the Green Ducks in semi-final 1.
They must have done that recently. I don't remember that being there.
Opening
it makes sense that it's there. I mean, I doubt the soundtracks are that different. It still surprises me they don't have the full Splatoon 3 soundtrack. Like, they haven't added any of the DLCs or anything, which is just weird.
That is Scorch. Mallard?
I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, in a year's time, I'll have a lot less complaints. Because they'll have added shit. But right now, it kind of sucks.
Radiance looks to the lower part of the house. And that is
not looking good for the Green Ducks.
They're going to call it a 2.
That actually helps a lot.
Same thing there. Wow, these teams are...
Yeah, they're literally spitting back for back the same shot.
On the edge of that 3-point ring, but it is scored a 2 for both. Now right down the middle,
that might have just saved the Green Ducks. Them getting that push outside one.
Green Ducks.
Yeah. No, that legitimately just saved... Solar flares hitting themselves just saved the Green Ducks.
Green Ducks are moving on to the final. Semi-final number 2. Wolfpack and Balls of Chaos. Again, Balto. Very strategic is that marble. Tumult. Looks low.
Ooh.
1 for 1. Here's Remus, just left of center in that 2-point white ring. Under the button is worth 5. Red ring 3, white ring 2, and the blue ring 1. Wolfpack very safe. Covering that up, but they are touching. So that does open the possibility for a ricochet, and I think that's what Balls of Chaos were attempting there. They're able to curl around those 2.
Come on. I admittedly have no idea how long mountain climbing is. I know ski jump is only a 10-minute event.
Here, adding to it 8-3. This is going to take a
Come on, we just have to make it like another
to come out of this
like 20-something minutes.
Will fall to disarray.
Probably like 25.
Who tries to get that team into the red and onto the button, can't do it.
And I can go lay down and die.
8-5. Balls of Chaos come up just short.
Oh my god.
And so, our final has been determined.
All right, so we got our runners up. I'm surprised the Solar Flares didn't take finals because they were doing really good.
Solar
in their
Flares
previous 2
12th in the
matches.
overall standings versus Balls of Chaos. They are 10th in the overall standings. The Flares send out Scorch first. Chaos will respond with Tumult. Down the middle here, and 2 for BOC. Solar Flares. They come to the low side. Oh, just out the back of the house.
Yeah.
They have 2 that have attempted to catch the back half of that blue ring. They've been unsuccessful in both.
I think it's,
That one also
as someone who knows
unsuccessful
nothing about
for
curling,
Anarchy.
it's very clearly, it's better to be under in curling than it is to be
This team, they need
over.
to make 'em count.
Because to
They
go
do 2-2.
over, right, there's no going back. But at least if you go under, you can always bump yourself forwards.
One more throw for each team after this one. Gives Balls of Chaos the lead, 3-2. Here's Radiance. Angling off to the far side. Was trying to sneak between those marbles, but they lead 4-3. It comes down to disarray. Can Balls of Chaos claim the bronze? No!
No.
Solar Flares are bronze medalists in curling.
That makes sense. Can't believe it's their... They've now won 1 of each medal. For the first time ever, the Solar Flares have won a bronze, they've won a gold, and they've won a silver.
Wouldn't think of Solar anything doing well on
Meanwhile, the
frozen
Wolfpack
ice.
here, this is another
Gold,
silver.
but boy, they made it
I think it's
work.
another silver, because I think
Well
they've already won
done
a
to the
silver.
Solar Flares. And now we are on to the final. Green Ducks versus Wolfpack. Ducks begin with a 3 in the back of the center red ring.
I'm actually not running a fever. I don't think I am anyways, which is nice.
Balto who goes wide.
But
Big
God,
mistake
still, I
there
feel
for the
awful.
Wolfpack. And they've not made many of those. Ducky. Lances off. Oh, puts both of them into the 2. It does increase their total 4-0. But it's dangerous at the back there. Wolfpack need to carry some speed and try to knock those Green Ducks out. That is what they try, but they couldn't do it. 4-2. Here's Mallard. Well done. Beautiful shot. Knocks the Wolfpack back out into the 1-point ring and gives the Green Ducks a 5-point lead with 2 throws to go after this one. It'll be 6-2. Billy with the final throw for the Green Ducks.
Come on, don't die. Don't die on me yet.
Trying to get gold, and they go right through the house. Is the door open for a combo? Fenrir tries to carry speed, misses.
There's a gold for the Green Ducks.
Have won
Wow.
gold in curling.
To be fair, I
Their
knew they
first
were going
gold
to take
of
that.
these games.
I knew that was going to happen. So,
Congratulations. The Wolfpack get the silver, and Solar Flares get the bronze. Solar Flares now have 1 medal of every color so far. Wolfpack have 2 silvers. Green Ducks, that is
yep,
their
I was
first
going to
gold.
say the Wolfpack had 2
3
silvers.
bronze.
Sure enough.
Also, with this being the final team event of these games, that means we get to crown a Best Captain
So,
award.
I don't know if they've ever done this
5 team
before.
events that we've had, and I'm happy
The
to
Green
announce
Ducks.
that the winner after all 5 with the most cumulative team points is the Green Ducks Mallard.
Yeah, Mallard.
67-61
that
over
makes
Snowy
besides this
Snowball.
event, right?
Team
This
Momo's
one, which the Green
Momo
Ducks just won.
tied at 61
I'm pretty
for
sure
third.
Green Ducks did well in the other team
The
events as
overall
well.
standings
So
here
it
in
makes
the
sense for the
Marble
Green
League.
Ducks to take
Green
that
Ducks
win.
have jumped 7 spots to
That
the lead.
dropped us.
They
We're now in
have a
15th.
2-point advantage over
We're
the
now
Jungle
the
Jumpers.
second to
Crazy Cats
last
dropped
team.
2. Wolfpack up
It could be worse,
5.
though. We
Knocking
could
on
be
the
the
door of
Hazers.
The podium. Savage Speeders down 4. That's
Could
not
always be
surprising.
worse.
We'll see you for the next event.
So I'm pretty sure we're up to ice ski jump. All right, here we go. Ski jump. I made a comment when we were talking about snow drag. I was like, this kind of reminds me of like skiing. I'm surprised this isn't that. No, here's skiing.
If you've been watching the first 9 events of this 2024 Winter Marble League and been aching for a bit more daring do,
Yeah, you know, here's traditional
to
Ski
the
jump.
Ski jump. The Green Ducks, 2 points ahead of the Jungle Jumpers, who are 2 points ahead of the Crazy Cat's Eyes, who
And yeah,
are
that puts
3 points.
The Green Ducks are having a great year. I may not like it, but they are having a great year.
Nobody will be close to you, however, flying through the air to try to set the longest distance in this event with dizzying heights and a sprinkle of danger tossed in. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods, and if you are ready to make the jump to a new mobile provider, check out Mint Mobile, proud
Yeah,
sponsors of the
whatever.
2024 Winter Marble.
Only if I need a burner phone.
Taking a look at our overall standings as we get into this one, boy, there is still so much to play for. We're on event 10, and only one team has won 2 golds. That's the
That might
Jungle
be
Jumpers,
good.
and they're not in first place. The team in 13th place, they have medaled, but they're all the way down in 13th. That's our hosts, the Gliding Glaciers. Wow, here is the very fast example run provided by the Minty Maniacs. This is a single event.
39. I don't think that's bad.
After curling,
I don't think that's bad at all.
39.05. Let's get this actual competition.
All right, we're gonna. I think we go bottom up here, so we're starting with the hazers.
45 points.
Not.
No medals. It's the hazers. See that
I don't think that's
splash
great.
down there?
39. Okay, that's okay actually.
4-0.
Come on. I know we're up next.
For the opening jump, at least in comparison to our example run.
Come on,
Here's the
come on,
captain of Team
Cosmo.
Galactic. They are 4 points ahead of the
Prove
hazers.
yourself as captain.
Also have not medaled. That's not necessarily a mark of being low on the standings, by the way.
42.
Ninth place
Honestly,
for
I don't
cutoff.
think 42
They
is
don't
that
receive a color
bad.
of medal either.
I could be a
They
little
are
rusty, but I want to
79
say
points,
42 is
just
not
20
terrible here.
behind 4-time medalists Green Ducks. How amazing is that? Bumblebees buzzing through the air here. It was a very low takeoff.
Yeah, see 40.
Not too bad.
42 is not bad at all.
And that is good enough for second place. 2.5 behind our leaders, the Gliding Glaciers, the hosts.
I legitimately cannot
These
tell.
games go along.
On my
Farther
monitor,
down in
all
order,
the
there are a
whites
lot
blend
of
together.
marbles cheering for
I legitimately
them.
have no idea
We
how
wanna see
good
the hosts
everyone's
do
doing.
well, and they
Okay,
do.
that bumps us down to silver.
1-5
But you know,
for
40
the Gliding
again,
Glaciers,
42 doesn't
put
seem
them
that bad.
in first place after 4 runs.
At least I hope it isn't.
Glaciers have just 1 bronze. This team has just 1 silver. It's the Raspberry Racers. Also a low takeoff. But
The Raspberry Racers, again,
momentum
another
that
good
marble
team
carried down the
that's
course.
not actually doing that well this year.
Carrying it vertically.
Like, I think of the Raspberry Racers as one of the best teams in the league. Up there with the Savage Speeders, who also aren't doing great. They're doing okay, mind you, but they're not doing great.
That one looks to be in the
I think
neighborhood
they're in,
of
like,
40.
they might be in top 8, or they might be, like,
Goal
at
all the way
8.
coming in the
They're like
very
8
first
to
event.
10.
That was the Ice Dash. This one is good enough for third right now. 46. 3.5 back of the Gliding Glaciers. Solar Flares, our winners in ice bowling. Ember and Radiance teamed up for that, especially. But this team has
A new
set a
record.
new
Holy
Marble League
shit.
record. Radiance goes 50.40.
SQD?
That is 6 centimeters.
What that? Wait.
Beyond the leading
What
Gliding
team is
Glaciers.
SQD?
Radiance
Squad?
absolutely caught.
Because I don't Bobble. I don't recognize that name either. Bobble Squad. That's not Santa Squad, is it? Is that Santa Squad? Did they hold the world record? See, us in third, that's not terrible. A 42 is not too bad.
Wide margin.
It's just a matter of can we hold it? I think that might be Santa. I'm looking it up right now.
The launch of our toy brand. Start off with our Collector Series marbles, which includes 32 of our most popular marble teams. Or you can buy sets of 10 marbles, so you can have team races
where
with one of our
is
Skyway
Santa
Chase Marble
Squad?
Run sets. And to track their progress, you can use one of the 5 competition racing brackets we've included.
Yeah,
So
Bobble
come
is
join
a
the
member
Yellow
of
Marble
Santa
Run
Squad.
community And let's race.
Okay.
Shop now on
Interesting.
YellowsMarvelRuns.com.
Interesting. I wonder when that record was set.
Solar flares at the top of the sheets in this jump, providing glaciers, our hosts, sitting.
Because
in
no, that's
second
crazy
place.
from the solar flares. Getting a 50.
8 marbles to go. Team Momo comes up now. Winners from back in the bobsled. What do they put up here? A team that
Shit,
is
and that knocks us off the
11
podium.
Points behind the Green
Gosh,
Ducks for the
dang it.
overall championship. They go to second place with their captain Momo in a 45 flat. This one might just be short of the 40 mark. Let's see.
Oh my god.
Cheers are pretty happy with it regardless. 39.55. You can tell by the cheers in the stands.
Yeah,
Coco
no.
goes into 7th out
Okay, we're
of
still sticking
10.
at 4th.
The snowballs. Snowballs are made for flying through the air, right? That's kind of what they do. Unfortunately, didn't fly very far. As this one might have broken 35. Yeah, it gets to
No.
37.5.
37's, yeah,
But
nothing.
10th out of 11.
Again, 42 doesn't seem to be
Winners from ice
terrible.
hockey, not gonna medal here.
I mean, again, I
Blackjack,
wish it was a
5th place,
podium,
just
but
8 points off of the Green Ducks.
top 4 will help us a
And
little
this one's
tiny,
out to
teeny
45.
bit.
In that neighborhood, let's wait for the official count.
Okay, this might drop us down to top 4.
Referees down there, 45.
Yep, there we go.
Puts them into second place. Blackjacks still trailing the Solar Flares, but put themselves ahead of Team Momo. Wolfpack shoot up to 3rd.
Again, okay, that drops us down to
45.
6th.
They also get by Team Momo. The Wolfpack just laid down a nice event. They only have 2 medals on these games. They're both silver, but that's it. Crazy Cat's Eyes just 4 points off the lead. What can they do in this particular event? Only 9th,
No.
39.60 for Yellow Eye. That's nearly
God, a
11
10-point delta
centimeters
is
behind
wild.
our leaders. Jungle Jumpers coming up now. Solar Flares guaranteed a medal. Where do the Jungle Jumpers come in? 5th.
That knocks us down again.
6-1.
That's what, we're now at
Solar
7?
Flares
7 or
finished
8?
No worse than silver. Final runner here. The Green Ducks jump goes past 40, it looked like. But
Shit.
this may not be good enough for a medal. No,
Yep,
it's
they
only
just barely...
7th. That
They knocked us down to
opens the
8th, and they're at 7th.
Blackjack
Shit.
has scored well. Wolfpack will stand on the podium. Look at Crazy Cat's Eyes. They only did okay.
Nothing's
Jungle
going on.
Jumpers did okay.
Man, again, I knew we
These
fell down at
standings
some
will
point.
change around a bit as
Gosh
radiance
dang
from the
it.
Solar Flares
This
sets a
is like the
marble
4th time this has
and
happened.
wins
Where
gold
we
with
do
the
our
ski
run,
jump.
we get like top 3. It's usually 3rd. We get 3rd, and then just everyone who comes after us just knocks us down until we're in like 8th. This is like the 3rd or 4th time this has happened.
Blackjacks get the silver.
We just don't
And
have it
Wolfpack
this year.
Get the bronze.
What the fuck happened?
Blackjacks, that's their 2nd silver. Wolfpack.
Do we
gets
need a
their first
shake-up?
bronze.
I mean, all these other teams are getting
Looks like they're
shake-ups.
chasing a Marble League
Because we've
record.
never,
You know
as
it's
far as
gonna
I
be
know,
cold.
we have never changed. We've never changed.
top
The only thing
teams
we added was we
entrusted
added
this
Quasar as
dangerous
our
event to their
reserve.
captains, and it paid off for most
Other
of them.
than that,
All
we've
captains
never changed anything.
landed in the
I mean, yes,
upper half
Cosmo
of the
getting
order.
8th shows that Cosmo still got
And so,
it.
after
That's
10
not
events,
terrible.
What does this do? The
But
Blackjacks
that
have
does
gone up
nothing-
4
that-
spots and taken the lead.
We're 1 point away
Over
from
the Jungle
14th.
Jumpers,
Oh,
the Green
wow.
Ducks have dropped 2. Solar Flares up 5. Wolfpack's
Oh, and this last one is blessedly
My
short.
name's Morgan Guillory.
Oh,
I'm a single
thank
mom
goodness.
With an IQ north of 160. Helping the cops.
Please, I needed a short event. After all the pain and suffering we've been through tonight. Sad Boy, this was Sad Boy Day 3.
one of the best parts about
We'll
a
be
winter
back next
Marble
week for
League
Sad Boy
is
Day
the
4.
high altitude, crisp, clean air.
Okay, I think I remember, right? It's just you go up as high as you
And while
can.
in the mountains, why
I think I
not
remember
try
this.
to climb them? Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
Oh, is it one Marvel
This
shoots? Is it?
mountain climbing? Making
No,
its
this
return
we already
to
had our
the
last.
2024
I would
Marvel
guess this
League,
is a team event,
sponsored by
but I'm pretty sure we
NextHandheld.
already had our last team event.
The Blackjacks lead a very tight field, where the top 10 is only separated by a little over one event victory.
That's
In fact, the
wild,
top
actually.
7
It
are
is pretty
separated by
close
just
up top.
11 points.
Whereas down
It is
below,
still
oh, the gap
just
is
anybody's
huge.
Marble League at this point.
So this is the one I have not seen. I don't know what I have not seen this event. Okay, yeah, this is more or less what I remember. And then I think block pushing is a similar idea to this, but with 4. And, you know, blocks.
But you will try to
Now I get how this
launch
one works.
your teammate this mountain of a ramp as far as possible. 73-85 for Santa's squad getting the better of the Minty Maniacs.
Okay, come on.
Our first run here. And it'll be the Gliding Glaciers up in that top lane.
Okay, so so we want to hit for around 70. That's kind of what we're aiming for. A little better than that, obviously.
Raspberry Racers.
But yeah, we know 70 is possible. We just saw it done by Santa's squad.
Will be the mark to beat. Switch up the lanes, and we'll come down for a second try here. And Gliding Glaciers once again, as hosts, trying to get as many points as possible and work their way up the order. They're sitting all the way down in 12th right now.
Again, surprisingly bad showings from the Raspberry Racers.
If they can, by the end of Event 16. Bumblebees.
All right, here we are.
Chocolatiers and
come on, you've got this. Holy shit, you actually did good there. It's just the Bumblebees did crazy good.
But this was way farther than what we saw the Gliding Glaciers do.
Yeah, no, that's of course that's a new record. Holy shit. We got 73. Holy crap.
That record had stood
That's
for
wild.
2 years.
That is a wild run.
Right now it goes to the Bumblebees. Purple Rockets had it back in the
Come on.
showdown.
Come on, you guys got this.
See if anybody can beat that. Ooh, this one is actually a good
That's going to be
tight
close.
battle.
That's going to be so
Chocolatiers
fucking
and
close.
The Bumblebees once again. They were not able to replicate that incredible climb that we saw in Heat A.
And we still, oh my god, we still got third.
4-0.
Fuck me.
Is the mark to beat.
Fuck. We had a really good first run, and our second run matched it, did a little better technically. But still, Chocolatiers did just a little bit better, and Bumblebee said, fuck everything.
Yellow's Marble Runs is
God
excited
damn
to
it.
announce the launch of our toy brand.
That was, you could see the hope in my eyes there for a second. Just for it to immediately be crushed.
Have team races with one of our Skyway Chase Marble Run sets. And to track their progress, you can use one of the 5 competition racing brackets we've included. So come and join the Yellow's Marble Runs community and let's race. Shop now on yellowsmarbleruns.com. Well, the gauntlet has already been laid down. We talked an event or two ago.
God damn it.
Anytime a provisional leader,
as long as nobody gets above 73, that's not going to happen. Somebody's going to break that.
To try to knock them off of that perch.
Yeah, fuck. There pushes them off the podium right there, the Crazy Cat's eyes.
Attempt.
Holy shit.
Oh, look at, there was some marbles getting airborne there. Both Crazy Cat's Eyes and the Hazers.
Yeah, 74.
In the air
just barely pushes us off.
And as we've seen in other events, whether it's block pushing, if you have energy that's going upward instead of down the course, you are losing out on distance. Cyanide making a
we had such a
nice
good run
there to get a bit more separation.
And yet
close to that 75 mark.
Yeah, Crazy Cat's Eyes just pushed us off the podium by 1.1.
Jack's 5th, Wolfpack 8th, and the Hazers, ouch, down in 11th. They are toward the bottom of the standings. Well, they are the bottom of the standings in the overall championship.
That pushes us off. That puts us down to 5th.
And wow, nice
fucking
one there.
Momo.
14 Momo watching lane 3. How high did they get? Was it
that was 75.
It was 75-35.
Yeah. Fuck.
That's going to put them into medal contention with 1 run left to go in this entire event. Let's see.
Holy shit. Yeah, that was another great run from Momo. Wow.
Nice push there. Let's see what
I don't think that was a record. Oh, no, there he is.
They've beaten the
wow.
record 79-20.
Wow, holy
and
shit.
On the final run, Team Momo gets gold.
Okay, so we finished off in 5th. So, like, could have been better. It could have definitely been worse. Gosh dang it, if we had just done a little, because the Chocolatiers just did a little better than us.
Congratulations.
And they took it. If we had just done a little better, we could have had it.
Fuck. A team that sat down in 6th in the standings. That's going to be elevating them. Bumblebees, they were down in 14th. Chocolatiers in 8th.
And that's, of course, finally the Bumblebees do something.
Overall, now after 11 of 16.
Looks like Sad Boy goes into week 4. Even though we're probably not watching the Marble League next week because we've got Game of the Year.
79-20.
Yeah, 5th. That's only like 11 points. That doesn't. That moves us up what, a spot, maybe 2, because of how good the Bumblebees did.
In that 25,
that moves us up a spot.
Top. Up 5 spots over the Blackjacks. Green Ducks in 3rd. Solar Flares up to 4th. Crazy Cat's Eyes.
Look how many people are at 112.
With
wow.
The Wolfpack. 2 ahead of the Jungle Jumpers. Chocolatiers only 3 further back. Coming up next.
All right, let's. Upcoming events. We've got Snow Tubing on the 12th or on the 22nd, so that's tomorrow. Technically today. We've got Snow Snake. I have no idea what that is. Skiing Rally, and then Funnel Endurance. And then we've only got one more event after that, on the 30th, and that wraps up the league. Wow. So when we come back next week, we probably won't do the Marble League next week, because the show next week is... Yes, let's go to the outro. Next week... 9 o'clock, Friday night, which is the 27th. Friday the 27th will be the Season 5 finale of In Chat. Hopefully I'll feel a lot better from this. Hopefully I'll have my voice back. We are doing Game of the Year. We've got that. We'll be looking back at a bunch of stuff from 2024. Looking forward to stuff in 2025, making some Switch 2 predictions, I'm sure. Talking about other stuff. I've got a bunch of movies I'm excited for next year. So we're doing that, doing my Game of the Year list. A few surprises in there, It's going to be a 4 or 5 hour stream. Game of the Year used to always be one of my longer streams. And then recently it's kind of like, oh no, I've been doing crazy stuff recently. So it doesn't compare, but, we'll be fine. We'll make it all work in the end. Now just to figure out what game am I going to play. Because last year I think we played Mario Wonder. This year I don't know what I'm going to play. I guess I'll have to figure it out. But that's where we're ending off tonight. So I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace. Does that say ESPN 8 the Ocho? Holy shit, it actually does say ESPN 8 the Ocho. I'd never noticed that before. I love that that's real. I love that Dodgeball made a joke about that, and now it's just a real thing that people love. That's so funny.